And on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon, we welcome you to Klein Field at Sunken Diamond for ACC Baseball Series finale between the Stanford Cardinal and the Clemson Tigers. Final game of this series, round one, taken by the Tigers. Round two, taken by the Cardinal in comeback fashion. Who claims this series today? That's what we're here to find out, and we're glad you're here with us. Troy Clarity and Scott Reese alongside here on ACC Network Extra. Scott, it's been intriguing to watch both of these teams win games by doing what they do best. Clemson taking advantage of Stanford's pitching mistakes, able to ride that to a 9-3 win on Friday. And then yesterday, Stanford turning the tide, getting much better pitching performances all the way around from top to bottom and showing some resilience as well, scoring 4 in the bottom of the 8th inning to take a 5-4 win over Clemson yesterday.
Yeah, and Stanford doing it in unorthodox fashion from a pitching standpoint. Gone are the days seemingly of the cemented Friday, Saturday, Sunday starter. David Esker's been mixing things up now for the better part of 6 weeks. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. They used 8 pitchers on Friday. They didn't win the game. And last night the pitching was solid, and they were able to keep themselves in it to come back and emerge victorious.
And oh, by the way, Teddy Tokheim has continued his torrid pace at the plate. He is the current ACC co-player of the week, and he's not slowed down. 4 for 8 with a home run so far this week. But it was J.J. Moran who delivered the 2-run single to give the Cardinal the 5-4 win in the bottom of the 8th, and the Stanford Cardinal were able to hang on in the 9th to beat Clemson. So with that result, that means that both Clemson and Stanford are each at 3-8 in the AC, or check that, 4-8. Let me update my math real quick. Clemson's 3-8 now. Stanford is 4-7. So Stanford is 13th in the ACC as today's action begins. Clemson 15th. Tigers win today. They draw level with Stanford. Stanford wins today. They take the series and take a 2-game lead over the Tigers and push closer towards the middle of the ACC tier.
And look, the ACC is a gauntlet. These teams know it. We know it. Everybody who's watching this knows it. So you say 13th and 15th, you think, oh, well, okay, they're also rans, but that's not the case. These are two very good baseball clubs, and both still have designs on making a run in the second half of conference play, getting back into the upper echelon, and making it into the NCAA tournament. We're a long way from saying, well, the season's over. But for Stanford, that 500 record looms large. They've been scratching and clawing. They had a sweep of Utah Valley last week. That got them back to within sniffing distance. Now they're at 500. You want to get over 500 and build on that momentum.
If you want to make a run, you need to start now, whether you're Clemson or you're Stanford. Cardinal 14-14, the Tigers 20-12 overall. Let's get you the starting batting order for the Clemson Tigers, 1 through 9. It begins with Bryce Clavon. Batting second, Tristan McClatty. In the 3 spot is Jack Crichton. Batting cleanup is Luke Gaffney, who put one in orbit yesterday. Nate Savoy bats 5th. Jacob Jarrell is in the 6th spot. Tyler Lichtenberger batting 7th. Jason Foltz Jr. getting another look this week as he is in the 8th spot. And Jackson Moore is the designated hitter for today. He is rounding out Clemson's batting order. Your lefties there are McClatty, Lichtenberger, and Moore. Clemson heading into today hitting .288 as a team with 41 home runs and 204 RBI. Meanwhile, the Stanford Cardinal about to take the field. The intro video has just wrapped up. Guns N' Roses playing over the PA system. Cardinal with some final inspirational messages to each other as they try to figure out a way to take this series. But first they got to take the field, and when they do, in the outfield from left to right, it'll be Court McDonald, Ethan Hott, and Brady Reynolds. Around the horn, J.J. Moran at third, Charlie Bates at short, Eric Gian at second, the Ichirushu, Rintaro Sasaki at first, Luke Lavin behind the plate, and Nick Dugan getting the call today for the Cardinal to start things off. He is a senior, 6'2", 220, out of Eureka, California. The righty getting the look here today and making his second appearance of this series. Dugan overall making his 9th appearance of the year and his 6th start, his first in a few weeks. 1-3 record, an 8.13 ERA, 31 innings pitched, 47 hits, 32 runs, 28 of them earned, 30 walks versus 12 strikeouts. Opposing batters are hitting .343 against Dugan.
And this is a guy who, when the season began, was the de facto #1 starter on this team. He was the Friday starter for the first couple of weeks. As we mentioned, David Esker has mixed things up. Starters became relievers, relievers became starters, and openers and closers, and you never know quite what you're going to get. But Dugan is a guy who is clearly very comfortable in this starting role and trying to resurrect his season. He was much better a year ago, and he's certainly capable of much more than the numbers would suggest, and the 8.13 ERA.
Yeah, the Stanford pitching staff in complete and total flux, especially at the start. We'll detail that more as the show goes along. But as you look at Dugan, his last appearance was at Virginia Tech last week in the Friday game. He came on in relief through 2 2/3, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs. Just one of them were earned. No walks or strikeouts along the way. But this is his first start in almost a month. You got to go back to March 13th against the Pitt Panthers when he went 5 innings, but did not get a decision against the Panthers that day. Gave up a couple of runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts along the way. But talking to David Esker yesterday after the game, he said Nick Dugan at the start, and who knows whom we're going to see after that. He mentioned specifically a freshman, Brock Kettleson, by name. He also mentioned Andrew Shaw, who got the start for Stanford on Friday, mentioned him by name as well.
Brady Reynolds back in the starting lineup for the Cardinal as well. He is another player who was considered a mainstay of this lineup at season's beginning, coming off a really nice 2025, struggled out of the gate, and now he's come off the bench the last couple of weeks, but he gets the start today for the first time in the series.
Yeah, came on, drew a pinch hit walk yesterday, and scored a crucial run in the 8th inning, part of the Cardinals' comeback win over Clemson. Should also note Jimmy Natai, one of the big bats for Stanford, has missed this series, and he is out once again for today, a little bit banged up. He did not play in the series finale against Virginia Tech last weekend and will not appear in any of the 3 games this week. Beautiful day here in the Bay. Clemson versus Stanford with a series at stake. It begins with Bryce Clavon coming to the plate. Clavon, a sophomore from Stockbridge, Georgia, transfer from the University of Georgia. And Clavon hitting .264 on the season with 2 home runs and 7 RBI. Dugan rocks and deals, and away we go. Stanford Clemson. Enjoy the game as Clavon fouls off the first pitch. 77 degrees. Sun high in the sky. Some high clouds off in the distance, but can't imagine better playing conditions than what we have right here in Northern California.
Gentle breeze blowing out to center field.
But not into the press box.
But not into the press box. Does a Stanford baseball broadcast go by where the announcers do not remark about the 20-degree difference between out there and in here?
The streak continues now.
Okay. 77 out there, 97 in here.
No balls and 2 strikes. Dugan deals. And this one just rolling down the first base line.
It's a line drive in the box score. Oh, it went foul.
Finally goes foul.
I was going to say you couldn't place that any better.
So we'll do it all over again, and that ball just took its sweet time going down the third base line. And well done by Luke Lavin and crew, showing a bit of patience there. Count remains 0-2 to Bryce Clavon.
That was the slowest walk back from first base I think I've ever seen.
Clavon went 3 for 4 and drove in a run on Wednesday against Wake Forest. That was a non-conference game played in Charlotte. Demon Deacons got the big win over the Tigers that day at Truist Park in Charlotte. I was just in Charlotte a couple weeks ago. The 0-2 goes opposite field, laces this one just into the front of the Stanford bullpen. Clavon 1 for 8 with 1 driven in so far this weekend. Dugan ready. And the 0-2 pitch. Another one just fouled off and rolling about 7 feet. Stanford came into this series from a pitching standpoint with a team ERA of 6.55, 14th in the ACC, 1.91 whip, last in the ACC, and a strikeout to walk ratio of 1.58, next to last in the ACC.
That said, it is nice to see Nick Dugan roll out of bed and throw nothing but strikes to this first hitter, pounding the zone.
The 0-2. Hit in the air to center. Hot. Has a ways to go, but makes the catch just shy of the track. One gone.
Well hit. Ball carrying well to center field. We mentioned the slight breeze out that direction. But Ethan Hott got a great jump. Made it look easy.
Hott with a spectacular diving grab early in the game on Friday. Here's Tristan McClatty, junior from Harlem, Georgia. McClatty, a team-high .339 batting average, also slugging .589, tied for the team lead with 35 RBI. Also atop the leaderboard amongst several other offensive categories for Clemson as he swings and taps it back. Stanford starting pitching has left much to be desired for much of the year. Came into yesterday, anyway, with an 0-8 record combined. And a 7.73 ERA. Take something off of that one. Swing and a miss by McClatty. 0-2. But that trend reversed itself a little bit yesterday. Sam Garwal, 3 shutout innings to start. McClatty stays alive here.
Well, that's 9 pitches in the zone so far for Nick Dugan. McClatty's a guy who is impressed with his versatility. Played some outfield, played some third base, playing second base now because of the injury to Jaron Purify, who is, I'm told, potentially available as a pinch runner and nothing more, but he's their normal starting second baseman.
Yeah, Purify suffered a broken hand on March 21st against Notre Dame when he was hit by a pitch. The 1-2. Got him. Swing and a miss. McClatty down on strikes. And a gorgeous out pitch by Nick Dugan.
Yeah, Dugan pulling the string, and so far 2 batters, and again, almost nothing but strikes. This is exactly what you want if you're David Esker.
Bring up Jack Crichton, senior from Rochester Hills, Michigan, which I believe is in the Detroit metro area. Fouls that one off opposite field. Crichton, .327 batting average, no home runs, and 14 RBI. Does lead the Tiger squad with 8 doubles.
As tends to be the case with these ACC opponents, got a smattering of Clemson faithful wearing orange. Yeah. A vocal group down the left field line.
A bigger group on Friday than it looks like it is so far today, but here nonetheless.
But they're late sleepers.
1 ball, 1 strike to Crichton. Clapped on a couple of hops. Bates gobbles it up, throws to first in time for the out. 3 up and 3 down, and Nick Dugan coming out firing and throwing strikes. Bottom first coming up in a moment. Clemson 0 and Stanford coming to bat. Let's give you the Cardinal batting order from top to bottom on this beautiful day here at Sunken Diamond. It begins with Rentaro Sasaki, followed by the designated hitter Teddy Tokheim, who's been magnificent at the plate for the past few weeks. Charlie Bates batting third. J.J. Moran in the cleanup spot. He delivered the go-ahead and eventual game-winning 2-run hit for Stanford yesterday. Eric Gian is in the starting lineup once again. He is batting fifth. Court McDonald bats sixth. Brady Reynolds getting the starting look today. He's batting seventh. Luke Lavin in the 8th spot. And rounding out the Cardinal batting order is Ethan Hott. Stanford as a team is batting .284 on the year with 53 home runs and 186 RBI. Defensively for the Tigers, as they will take the field here in a moment. In the outfield, from left to right, Nate Savoy, Bryce Cleveland, and Jake Crichton, who has now started at first, left, and right so far in this series. Around the horn for the Tigers, Jason Fultz Jr. at third, Tyler Lichtenberger at short, Tristan McClatty at second, Luke Gaffney at first, Jacob Jarrell behind the dish. And on the mound for the Tigers is Drew Titsworth, a junior from Frankenmuth, Michigan. 6'3", 215 pounds. The righty standing on the mound right now and warming up. And Drew about to make his 7th appearance and 4th start of the year. A 3-2 record and a 4.58 ERA. 19 2/3 innings pitched on the season. 18 hits, 11 runs, 10 of them earned. Strikeout to walk ratio of 22-6. And opposing batters hitting .240 against Drew, who has hit 4 batters in those 19 2/3 innings worth of work.
Bit of an unorthodox delivery, more of a 3/4 arm slot. Fastball gets up around 92, 94 on a good day. And he's pretty much just fastball slider. And honestly, the fastball is far and away his more effective pitch.
He began the season coming out of the bullpen, but his last 4 appearances now have been starts, including last week against Miami. 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned, struck out 7 and didn't walk any, but still got tagged with a loss. Here's Rintaro Sasaki, the sophomore from Japan. Sasaki slashing .265, .421, .598. Tied for the team high with 9 home runs and 19 RBI. First pitch of fastball from Titsworth, up and out for ball 1. Sasaki 1 for 8 so far this weekend.
I was going to say hit safely in 15 of his last 20.
And came through with a sac fly RBI yesterday as part of that 4-run 8th for Stanford. And well, coming up in that situation with multiple guys on base, you're thinking, hey, Rintaro's going to knock it out of the park. And some folks might be disappointed with the sac fly RBI. But after the game, as Sasaki looks at strike 2, Eske said, hey, look, sac fly RBI, I was very happy with that because sometimes Rintaro can try so hard he can become unproductive. Still learning a little bit to pass the baton to the next guy. The 1-2. Looks at strike 3 called. The punch-out dealt.
Fastball inside corner, froze Rintaro. And a good start for Titsworth, as we saw a good start for Nick Dugan in the top of the first.
Cranked that one up to 94 on the radar gun. And that brings up Teddy Tokheim. Tokheim, the freshman from Seattle. 4 for 8 this weekend. Homered yesterday. A solo shot that just went over Bryce Cleveland's glove in dead center field, the deepest part of Sunken Diamond.
Yeah, he's been their hottest hitter for a while now. A guy who didn't start the season in the starting lineup, but that quickly changed. And as Troy mentioned, now your reigning ACC co-player of the week. He's also got an 11-game hit streak.
And during that 11-game hit streak, he's batting .511.
That'll do.
So put this in perspective. 4 for 8 this weekend. His batting average during his hit streak has actually gone down.
Right. When 500 is a disappointment, you're doing something right.
Overall this season, Tokheim slashing .422, .505, .867, all team highs. And he launches one way back to left. Look at it go. It's out of here. Teddy Ballgame does it again.
Now he's over 500 in the series.
And he is on a massive tear. Teddy Tokheim giving the Cardinal a 1-0 lead.
Absolutely crushed it into the trees from the moment it left the bat, no doubt. And Tokheim continues the blistering pace that he's been on for the last month or so. That is home run number 10 on the season. first Cardinal in double figures.
So the hit streak extended now to 12. He has also now reached in 22 consecutive games.
And you know what? He's getting a break today because he's in the designated hitter role.
Yep.
So maybe extra energized.
Charlie Bates, the batter. Bates hitting .312 on the year, 8 home runs. He was tied for the team high with 26 RBI with Teddy Tokheim, but Teddy's just taken the lead. Bates looks at ball one here. Count evens out. Charlie from Palo Alto, California, went to high school right across the street, Palo Alto High. Goes down, doesn't connect here, 1-2. Bates looking for his first base hit of the weekend. He's 0 for 7 with a walk and a strikeout. Titsworth deals. Just a little bit outside, perhaps a bit high, 2-2. Umpires for today, Christopher Gonzalez is calling the balls and strikes. Greg Charles at first, Toby Basner at second, and Darren Hyman is at third. Officially, that home run by Tokheim went 383 feet. Seemed like it went a little further than that. But when it's warm...
Yeah, given that the wall's 375 and it was about 4 stories up,
yeah. But when it's warm, this ball can get out of here in a hurry. Bates slashes at that one and fouls that one off, too. And Scott, you and I have seen enough baseball here in this facility over the many, many years to know that this place can become a bit of a launch pad in these kind of playing conditions.
Absolutely. On a day like today, balls will fly to all fields.
Got him. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Bates down on strikes.
Got him with the slider, which, as mentioned at the top, is not his out pitch, but Charlie went fishing, came up empty.
So a couple of strikeouts for Titsworth. Brings up J.J. Moran. J.J., a sophomore from San Diego, hitting .318 on the year with 5 home runs and 22 driven in. Moran with the go-ahead and game-winning base hit, completing the Cards' comeback from down 4-1 in the bottom of the 8th to take a 5-4 lead that Stanford eventually was able to hang on to and win. Slashes at that one, fouls it off.
Moran 2 for 8 in the series with those couple of RBI.
San Marcos High School down in San Diego. That's your neck of the woods, isn't it?
Los Angeles.
Ah, I thought you were a San Diego guy. Maybe it's because you were a Chargers fan.
Maybe because I grew up a Charger fan,
Yeah.
Correct.
Slow roller to first. Shovel to Titsworth, and the side is retired. But not before Teddy Tokheim strikes again, his 10th home run of the year, and the Cardinal have a quick 1-0 lead over the Clemson Tigers. Another look at the inning-ending play, and Stanford takes a 1-0 lead to the top of the second on ACC Network Extra. Start of the second inning. Stanford with a quick 1-0 lead thanks to Teddy Tokheim's 10th home run of the year. Luke Gaffney to begin things for the Tigers in this frame. Gaffney parked one over the left center field fence yesterday. Gaffney, a redshirt junior from Danville, Kentucky, a transfer from Purdue. Looks at the first pitch from Nick Dugan, who has fired almost nothing but strikes.
Yeah, that's 15 pitches and 13 strikes. That'll play.
Coaches will be very happy about that. Backhand stab by J.J. Moran across the diamond, one away.
More efficient work by Nick Dugan, who definitely appears locked in. Again, reverting to what was his comfort zone, that as a starting pitcher.
Dugan making his 6th start of the year. Came out of the pen for his last couple of appearances until today. Nate Savoy, the batter. Sophomore from Newport Beach, California. Transfer from LMU. Right by LAX. Looks at the curve right down the middle for strike one called. Savoy on the season, hitting .325, 10 home runs, 35 driven in. That's fouled off the railing in front of the Stanford dugout.
Guessing there might be a few differences in the athletic department between LMU and Clemson.
Little bit. Let's start here. They play football at Clemson. I'm told that's a bit of a deal.
I'm told that's a thing.
No balls and 2 strikes. Just a foul tip.
See a lot more 99s since the arrival of one Aaron Judge on the scene.
Yeah? I've seen that pop up a little bit more and more.
First it was Wild Thing Vaughn, then it was Aaron Judge.
Shift is on with a 3-man infield to the left side. The 0-2 pitch. This one is rocketed to left center field, gets down and bounces at the base of the wall. And Savoy is in with a stand-up double.
Well, Dugan has been on the plate since pitch 1 today. That one got a little too much of the plate, and Savoy hammered it.
That's his first base hit of the weekend after starting off 0 for 8. And Savoy hustling all the way over to second. Jacob Jarrell stepping up, senior from Florence, South Carolina.
And this is where, at least by the numbers, the Clemson lineup drops off. After the string of 300 hitters, Jarrell hitting just 243, then it goes 252, 261, 222. So a chance for Dugan to settle down against a slightly less daunting portion of the lineup.
Which is ironic because it's been the bottom of the lineup that has paced Clemson so far this weekend.
And, of course, you never know.
Yep.
That's why it's by the numbers.
Blocked by Lavin. Count goes to 1-1. Jarrell hitting 243 on the year. Does lead the Tigers with 12 home runs and a .621 slugging percentage. 1 ball and 1 strike. Savoy at second. There he is, bottom of your screen. Fastball low and outside, 2-1. Stanford pitching. A tale of 2 cities, I guess, in a sense, to go Dickensian on everyone. On Friday, Stanford pitchers walked 7 guys and hit 4 more. Yesterday, they only issued 2 walks and hit just 1 batter. They lost on Friday, won on Saturday.
I was going to say, not unrelated.
Just bounces foul. Now, again, it took a comeback, but with the pitching, for the most part, keeping Stanford in the game, that's certainly paid off big dividends for the Cardinal yesterday.
Look, if this pitching staff gives up 4 runs or fewer on any given day, they're going to win most games.
They're going to be in it, yep.
You know, I mean, the offense hits. There's certainly a ton of power. We extended the homer streak with the bomb in the first inning by Tokheim.
Fly ball, center field, hot. A few steps over to his right, makes the grab. So 2 out now, with Savoy staying put at second. Tyler Lichtenberger has moved up a couple of spots, and the order was in the 9th spot on Friday and Saturday, with Nick Dugan digging in. But Lichtenberger, the sophomore from Boca Raton, Florida, and the transfer from Appalachian State, stepping up, and he's had a productive weekend. He's hitting .252 overall on the season. 1 home run and 18 RBI. Sasaki fields that one in foul territory.
He's got the Jared Saltalamacchia thing going on with the name on the back of the jersey. It's so long, they've got to go. It's a parabola around the number. Too many letters.
Go to a smaller font maybe a little bit.
Some schools do that. Santa Clara does that.
Yeah.
There's basketball. Some schools actually do the smaller font.
No balls and 1 strike with 1 on and 2 out. Swing and a miss.
Remember seeing Sash Gavalugov playing for Santa Clara and thinking, I can't even read the name because the font's so small because there's so many letters.
At some point, could you even think about maybe going around the entire number maybe? I don't know. I'm not an equipment manager. No balls, 2 strikes. Low and outside, 1 and 2. Dugan, a veteran. 14 appearances last year. Has grown 2 inches since his freshman year. Listed at 6'2", 220 here this season. The 1-2 pitch. Lavin keeps it in front of him, 2 and 2.
Troy, how many inches have you grown since your freshman year?
Probably none. Now, how much weight have I gained since then?
I didn't say where the inches were.
Yeah, vertically, none. Circumference-wise, different story. The 2-2. Smack back up the middle, but right to Charlie Bates, who's in the right place at the right time. The double by Savoy, but Clemson leaves him there. An inning and a half in. Stanford with a 1-0 lead. Well, when these two teams met last year in Clemson, it was the Tigers who took 2 out of 3. Stanford would love to return the favor here this year. Off to a good start thanks to Teddy Tokheim, smoking one over the left field fence and giving Stanford a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, this feels like an important game momentum-wise. You know, somebody's going to come out of here having won a series against a quality opponent, feeling good about things. Stanford, because of the Utah Valley 4-game sweep, all of a sudden you look at the schedule, and they've won 6 of their last 7. You win today, it's 7 out of 8. That looks really good.
Yep. Trying to head in the right direction as we head deeper into April. Eric Gian, the junior from Fullerton, California, the transfer from Columbia, hitting .351 on the year with 6 home runs and 13 RBI. He's been a big bat, especially of late for the Cardinal. Snared by Fultz. And the throw in time.
It's a really good play by Jason Fultz at the hot corner. Hard hit baseball by Gian.
Yeah, Fultz able to just smother it. As we get another look from behind the plate. And it goes for the first out of the bottom half of the second. Here's Court McDonald, a senior from Arlington, Texas, smack in the middle of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, which is also ACC country. McDonald with a .349 batting average, a couple of home runs. That second home run that came on Friday, and 6 driven in.
What isn't ACC country in this day and age?
All Coast Conference. Fouled off. I mean, it's hard to still call it the Atlantic Coast Conference, even though it's still very much Atlantic Coast based, when you can stand on one of the member schools' campuses, look to the west, and see the Pacific Ocean.
Right.
As you can over at Cal and Berkeley, which is just up the road from us. The 0-2 to McDonald. Off the fist, bounces foul. Of course, this is Stanford's second year in the ACC. And admittedly, it's been pretty neat to be able to head to different parts of the country that Stanford has not been to before, and to welcome in new folks, too. Fastball up high, 1-2.
Not sure how neat it is for the coaches, however.
Yeah, they got to do all new scouting.
All new scouting and just a lot of travel. And, of course, a lot's been made of that for Stanford and Cal.
Yeah. Back up the middle, veers off the mound, but Lichtenberger is there, 2 away.
Both teams well scouted. Lichtenberger, exactly the right spot for that hot shot. Much as Charlie Bates was in exactly the right spot in the previous inning to take a potential hit and an RBI away from Lichtenberger. Turnabout is fair play, as they say.
That's Brady Reynolds on your screen, junior from Bakersfield. Reynolds hitting .250, 1 home run and 5 RBI. That home run came against Pitt on March 13th. The junior from Bakersfield looks at ball 1 from Drew Titsworth. Now Drew pumps one in there. Drew actually missed opening weekend this year with an arm strain. Came out of the bullpen his first few appearances and has made his way into the rotation over the last few weeks. 1-1. Foul tip, 1-2.
An opportunity for Reynolds getting the start today. Again, a guy who was expected to be a big part of this everyday lineup. A big factor offensively for this Cardinal team a year ago. Had 7 3-hit games last season.
And that apparently caught Reynolds on the foot. As the ball did ricochet all the way over to the on-deck circle. And Reynolds is on board. Luke Lavin, the batter now for Stanford. Junior from Laguna Beach. And he's hitting .241 on the season. 4 home runs and 16 RBI.
He's been a workhorse behind the plate for this Cardinal club. Started 25 of the 28 games.
Thinks about it, doesn't go for it. Strike 1. Clemson came into this series with a team ERA of 4.15. I'm old enough to think, wow, that's quite high, but in this day and age,
No.
that was actually good for 4th in the ACC.
When you compare it with Stanford's 6.55.
Yeah. Lichtenberger again, and the throw to first in time for the out. Through 2 complete. Stanford with a 1-0 lead over Clemson here on ACC Network Extra. A gorgeous Sunday afternoon here in Northern California. Welcome to Sunken Diamond. 2 complete. Stanford with a 1-0 lead over Clemson here on ACC Network Extra. I'm Troy Clarity, and Scott Reese will be on the call with you for the 3rd and the 4th.
Take a break, man. You've earned it.
I know, such taxing work those first 2 innings were.
8-9-1 due up for the Clemson Tigers here in the 3rd. Jason Foltz, Jackson Moore, and Bryce Clavon. Facing Nick Dugan, who has been terrific through the first 2 innings. 30 pitches, 24 strikes. Foltz, freshman from Harbor Creek, Pennsylvania, stands in. And Dugan missed. That may be the first pitch ball we've seen from Nick Dugan.
I believe it is.
Comes right back with a pitch that looked pretty good, but he didn't get the call, so it's 2-0, and this is certainly the first time he's really fallen behind a batter. Foltz hitting .261, does not have a home run. Chopper to short. Nice hop for Bates. And 1 out here in the 3rd. So the shortstops have been busy thus far.
And Bates sizing this one up well. And not really rushing things. Getting it over to first for the out.
So we'll get our first look at Jackson Moore, the designated hitter for Clemson this afternoon. Just his 3rd start of the season. Just his 7th game played of the season. And he promptly bangs one into center field for a base hit. So the 3rd career hit for Jackson Moore, and the Tigers have a man aboard with 1 out.
That was rather sharply hit, whistling as it bounces past Dugan. And intriguing to note, with Moore getting the look here in the starting 9 for Clemson, Jason Foltz Jr., who we just saw ground out, getting the look here this weekend because Jay Dillard came down ill. It was a late scratch before Friday, so some folks that you might not necessarily be expecting to see in the Clemson lineup this weekend making some contributions.
Clavon squares to bunt, comes up empty, it's 0-1. Flied out to center field to lead off the ball game in the 1st. Georgia transfer hitting .259.
And he was a terrific high school football player on top of his exploits on the baseball diamond. He was a region player of the year as a quarterback. He got offers from UNLV and Indiana
to play quarterback. There goes the runner, and a fly ball to right field. Retreating as Reynolds had to go way back to make the catch. And Moore retreats to first base. There are 2 down. And that'll bring up Tristan McClatty, who struck out his first time up.
How did the Indiana Hoosiers quarterback situation work out this past season?
Better than average.
Okay. Well, I hope they win something big. That fan base is due.
Yeah, right. It's really one of the more remarkable sports stories.
It's incredible.
In memory, I mean, in my lifetime.
And they brought the national championship trophy on a tour around the state to South Bend this past week.
How'd that go?
Depends on who you were.
Right. Notre Dame fans like, whatever, we've seen it.
Not for a while, though.
Not for a while.
Clemson's seen it recently,
yes.
obviously.
Yes.
Of course, not the kind of football season that they would have expected and wanted to have. I mean, this time last year, we were all thinking that, hey, everyone else is playing for second behind Clemson in ACC football this season, and that was not the case at all.
A lot of people believed that in late August this past year.
Yep.
Just didn't work out. 0-1 to McClatty is outside.
And going to Death Valley and being out there in the 2024 season, I admit it's a very cool environment. It's awesome, and they treat you right out there. Fantastic hospitality from the fans and the staff. It was a great environment.
Breaking ball just missed. 80 miles an hour, just off the outside corner. It's 2-1. McClatty has some pop, 8 home runs, 35 RBI. And another throw, so not a lot of data with Jackson Moore, since, again, he's only played in a few games this year, but he was off and running on the previous hitter when Clavon flied out, so Stanford now very much aware he might be prone to take off and try and swipe another. Not going here, and a slider in the dirt. So 3-1.
And they got to watch out because Tyler Lichtenberger was the victim of a terrific pickoff move from Parker Warner in yesterday's contest in the 5th inning.
Three-one, right back up the middle, but perfectly positioned as Eric Gian beats Moore to the bag, and the side is retired. So no runs, 1 hit, and 1 left for the Tigers. Heading bottom 3 here on a beautiful Sunday at Sunken Diamond. It remains Stanford 1, Clemson nothing. Well, they've just finished the fan interactive rock, paper, scissors here at Sunken Diamond, which means it must be the bottom of the 3rd inning. 1-0 Cardinal. Drew Titsworth back out for his 3rd inning of work. So far the pitching's been quite good on both sides. One mistake from Titsworth resulted in a long home run by Teddy Tokheim, and that is the only scoring in the game so far. Ethan Hott will lead things off for Stanford. And then the top of the order, Sasaki and the aforementioned Tokheim. Ethan, a senior from Paradise Valley, Arizona, the Phoenix area. Beautiful suburb.
It's the Scottsdale side of things, right?
Indeed.
East side of the valley?
Yep. Little toasty.
A little bit.
Slider got the outside corner. 94 miles an hour. So I guess that was not a slider. Looked like it moved.
Hot had reached in 9 straight games entering this series.
Chopper to the right side. McClatty. Easy play. 1 down.
But that streak was broken on Friday. Did get a hit yesterday.
So Sasaki will stroll to the plate for the second time. He was called out on strikes in the top or the bottom of the first. No long balls in this series for Sasaki, but they are starting to come with some regularity. He's up to 9, which was tied for the team lead with Tokheim until Teddy parked one in the first inning. And he was trying to get even with his teammate right there. Big swing and a miss.
Yeah, Sasaki 5 home runs over his last 12-plus games now.
And he rockets one to the right center field gap. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Rentaro around first. Little bobble out there by Clavon, but Sasaki will be content with an impressive line drive double.
Exit velo?
Yeah, right.
109.
I was going to say, that was 110.
Whoosh.
That was right in Rentaro's wheelhouse. And Clemson is not going to allow Tokheim to get him again here. They're going to, yep, they are going to put him on.
Well, hard to blame him. I mean, Tokheim this weekend, 5 for 9 with 2 home runs and 3 RBI.
However, it is the 3rd inning with 1 runner on base and 1 out. I mean, that's like Barry Bonds' treatment. It's an unorthodox position to put a guy on. Oh, by the way, you've got 3, 4, 5 coming up in the lineup as well, and a lefty now in Bates. So we'll see how it works out, but that's a tad curious to me at this point in the game. And Bates squibs one to shortstop, and the only play is going to be across the diamond to first. They just get him. The runners do move up.
Lichtenberger got that to first in a hurry, and he had to because Bates was hustling. But at the very least, everyone else does move up 90 feet. And J.J. Moran is not an easy out, has not been so far in this series. At least not in clutch moments anyway.
J.J. asking for a little extra tape, it looks like, for the bat maybe. Now he's ready. And yeah, big situation. 2 men in scoring position, 2 outs in a 1-0 game here, bottom 3. A little bit of action in the Stanford bullpen. I don't think a pitching change is imminent to start the 4th, but they're scurrying a bit now. And the first pitch to Moran, outside corner for a strike.
And to be honest with all of you out there, even though I do have binoculars, Stanford with the black jerseys and the Cardinal numbers are not doing me any favors as far as identifying who is getting in some initial warm-up tosses in the bullpen.
Big swing and a foul. Well, Cassius Thomas is throwing. And they had a left-hander briefly tossing, but that left-hander has now taken a seat. So for the moment, we'll say it's Cassius Thomas warming up. Again, they're 2 outs in the inning, so he's not looking like a guy who's about to get the call if the 3rd out is made right here, but perhaps Dugan on a pitch count hasn't started in a while. In any case, it's J.J. Moran looking at an 0-2 count. And Titsworth just missed with a fastball.
Yeah, Stanford going with the black jerseys on Sundays these days. Used to go with the Sunday Reds. But now they switched to black. They've started to wear cream uniforms on Saturdays. That's new this year.
Ball gets away. Here comes Sasaki, and he is going to score and make it 2-0 Stanford. First, I thought that might have hit Moran, but it did not.
Well, Stanford will certainly take it. They've certainly dished their share of runs to opponents in this kind of fashion.
You'll always take it.
And officially scored a passed ball.
Which means that sound I heard when I thought it was off the leg of the batter was actually the glove of the catcher.
Yep.
So Jacob Jarrell unable to make a play, and Stanford gets a freebie to lead 2-0. Still a man on third now as Tokheim moved up on the play.
Well, and Gerald did well to try to grab that ball off the carom, off the backstop as well as he did, because there's a lot of foul room behind home plate.
Yep.
One of these days I'm going to break out a tape measure and see exactly how much.
That pitch not close, so what was 0-2 is now 3-2 as Moran has worked it full.
Yeah, I guarantee you there are few, a handful, if any, ballparks on the collegiate level that have as much foul room as this place does.
I was going to say the Oakland Coliseum, does that count?
They don't play ball there anymore.
No, they don't. Swing and a miss, strike three, and they'll throw down to first just to seal the deal. But Titsworth gets out of the jam, but Stanford gets a freebie. A run scores on the pass ball. One hit, one left, and after three complete at Sunken, it is 2-0 Cardinal. Scott Reese, Troy Clardy back at Sunken Diamond, or Klein Field if you prefer, on the campus of Stanford University. And the home team Cardinal lead at 2-0 over the Clemson Tigers, heading to the fourth inning. 3-4-5 coming up for the guys in orange, Crichton, Gaffney, and Savoy. Crichton bounced short his first time up. Nick Dugan still out there for his fourth inning of work, leaves that one up and in. Chopped foul.
43 pitches now thrown by Dugan, who was peppering the strike zone early on, especially in the first couple of innings.
31 strikes.
Still take that ratio.
Absolutely. In fact, we have not had an unintentional walk in the ballgame. We have had a hit batsman. One and two to the Tigers right fielder. Not common at this point in the season to see a #3 hitter with no home runs. Missed low and away, so ball 2.
Clemson in the NCAA tournament last year hosted a regional. We're looking for a bump offensively this year.
And he skies one down the left field line. Is this the reverse broadcaster jinx? It is indeed. First home run of the year for Jack Crichton as he golfs one over the Stanford Medicine sign in left.
Well, Crichton has been a key supporting player so far in this series. Yesterday, he robbed J.J. Moran of a potential home run in the 7th inning, a fantastic leaping grab here. And Crichton makes sure that no one is going to get to that one, and that was a much-needed swing of the bat for the Tigers.
Cuts the deficit in half, so 2-1 Stanford as Luke Gaffney stands in. And just 3 homers for Gaffney, so again, not your prototypical middle-of-the-order power numbers, at least on Sunday for the Tigers. Slider, strike.
Yeah, and Clemson was looking for a bit more pop this year. They made a couple of acquisitions in the portal towards that end. But by and large, it hasn't necessarily worked out for them. Kind of middle of the pack offensively and many of the important numbers there. And they've had some injuries along the way. They're missing Colin Priest, who has not played yet this season with the hamstring, was a big left-handed bat for the Tigers last year. They're missing him. They're missing Jaron Purify. A couple other guys haven't maybe quite performed up to expectation. So it's been a bit of a slide for Clemson at the plate, certainly from what they were expecting coming in.
As you mentioned, kind of the opposite issues from Stanford. Clemson has pitched consistently well, has had trouble putting runs on the board. And there's a swing and a miss, and strike 3, Gaffney goes down swinging.
Well, Dugan recovering from serving up the home run ball and coming back. A nice little slider there.
Second strikeout for Dugan. And Savoy steps to the plate. He has delivered in the power categories this year. .331, 10 home runs, 35 RBI. And looks at a fastball down low.
And it's been a tale of 2 seasons for Clemson. They started off 15-1. But the level of competition picked up, and they've gone 5-11 since that hot start.
Well, more than that, they've now lost 8 out of 10. And again, a little different once you get into the meat of ACC play, as opposed to Bryant, Presbyterian, LaSalle, some of the early season opponents for the Tigers.
All due respect to those programs.
Of course, but the ACC is the ACC.
Yeah. Took one on the chin against Coastal Carolina as well.
2-1 to Savoy. Dugan lays one in there, 81 with the slider, and it is 2-2. The shift on for Savoy. We've seen that employed for a couple of Clemson hitters. Center fielder hot, shaded just a tad toward left field.
Well, as a result of that slide, Clemson unranked in this week's polls. First time that's happened after 51 straight weeks of being in the top 25 of at least one of the polls.
Swinging a chopper to third. Easy play for Moran. And we have 2 down here in the 4th.
Infielders have brought their gloves on both sides so far in this one.
They have, and Dugan, and really both pitchers, Titsworth as well, they've done a nice job keeping the ball on the ground, letting the fielders do the work, which they have.
Oh, and that goes part and parcel with pitching and defense. Those 2 areas of the game often go hand in hand. tough to have good pitching if the defense behind you isn't getting the job done. That's a big part of it.
Especially when pitcher is not a noted strikeout artist, which neither of these two are. They'll punch out guys here and there, but they're not lighting up the radar gun at 98. Jacob Jarrell stands in. He of the 12 long balls from the catcher position. And he's in a hole 0-2.
Clemson did start the season as a top 20 team across all the polls. They were ranked as high as number 9 by USA Today in the March 9th poll, but it's been a free fall for them since.
The 0-2 to Jarrell. It hit him, which is not what you want on 0-2.
Yeah, pitchers have nightmares. One of them is hitting a guy on an 0-2 count, and especially in a situation that extends the inning and brings up a guy who has had some big swings this weekend, Tyler Lichtenberger, 4 for 9 this weekend.
Dugan leaves that off the plate.
Unveiling the curve on that one.
So now 2-0, and you wonder about the frustration factor after you plunk a guy on an 0-2 pitch. Chance to get out of the inning. Got to forget about it, move on, get the next guy.
Yeah, concentrate, make the next pitch.
And I think to that end, a well-timed visit from Luke Lavin.
Yep. Always fascinated by the relationship between catcher and pitcher, because as a catcher, you're not just catching pitches, you're not just directing the defense more often than not, you're also playing a bit of psychiatrist at times.
Well, these two have worked together a lot.
Yes.
This was the opening day battery.
If any position on the field encompasses other duties as required,
yeah,
it's certainly the catcher.
No doubt. And Dugan, remember, was one of the 2 Stanford representatives at ACC Media Day, along with Jimmy Nadai, who's out this weekend. All right, Lichtenberger stands in. 0-2 pitch, he missed again. And one wonders, as well as Dugan has pitched through 3 2/3, might this be the end of the line if, in fact, he loses Lichtenberger?
The second 3-ball count of the day.
And he missed off the plate, ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk after the hit batsman, and that is, in fact, in all likelihood, going to be the end of the line. We haven't seen the motion yet. Maybe it's just a conversation.
Thomas Eager, the Kathy Wolf assistant coach, and the guy who's in charge of pushing the buttons for the pitchers, is making the call.
All right, so we do have a pitching change. It is Cassius Thomas, and Stanford in a little bit of hot water. Still clinging to that 2-1 lead. We'll tell you about Thomas in just a moment. The new pitcher for Stanford. The new pitcher for Stanford is Cassius Thomas. Are you trying to mute me?
My bad, wrong knob. Whoops.
You don't want me to talk anymore. Just
Well, I was sitting in your seat on Friday and Saturday, so just
everything's backward.
Yeah, a little bit.
Cassius Thomas, a 1-1 record, ERA of 4.15, 13 innings of work, giving up 15 hits, 7 earned runs, 12 walks, 26 strikeouts. He's a senior from Sierra Canyon High School in Los Angeles, and he transferred from Duke University.
And it's the second appearance of this series. He was one of the 8 Stanford pitchers used on Friday, and he did well. One in the third scoreless, gave up a couple hits, struck out 1 and walked 1.
Nick Dugan goes 3 2/3, gives up 1 run. The man on second base, still his responsibility. 3 hits, a couple of strikeouts, a walk, and a hit batsman in succession in this inning, which is why we have the situation we do, with first and second and 2 outs, and a line drive base hit by Jason Foltz. That's going to tie the ball game at 2. Gerald scores. Lichtenberger goes first to third, and we've got a brand new ball game.
And once again, it's the bottom of the order doing the damage for the Tigers. And Foltz saw this one all the way, 92 miles an hour going in, 100 miles an hour coming back. And the Tigers tie up the game. And all of this stems from hitting a batter on an 0-2 count with 2 outs.
Well, this is a quick visit after 1 pitch.
Well, and Dugan also is still on the hook for Lichtenberger, who's over at third.
That is true. So, unfortunately for Nick Dugan, that final line, and they are going to make a change. So, a 1-pitch outing for Cassius Thomas. Don't see that very often, but such is the case. Told you Stanford used 8 pitchers on Friday, so not shy about making the call to the bullpen. Andrew Shaw, the lefty, will come on to face the left-handed hitting Jackson Moore. 2-2, Stanford and Clemson, top 4 here at Sunken Diamond. Andrew Shaw, 6'3", 201-pound freshman left-hander from Woodstock, Georgia, Sequoia High School. He will be making his 11th appearance as a collegiate. 9 of those out of the bullpen. ERA 4.05, 13 1/3 innings, 6 earned runs, and a good strikeout to walk ratio of 12-4. And judging from the walk-in music, a Chiefs fan?
Gee, how would you know that?
I've heard it a time or 2.
Yeah, you spent some time in Kansas City for a bit. Shaw did appear on Friday. He got the start, 1 2/3, was charged with a run and a walk, but looked sharp at the beginning of his outing.
And he comes into a rather harrowing situation, first and third, 2 outs. Jackson Moore, the designated hitter who singled his first time up, is the batter, and he looks at a slider outside.
Shaw threw 2 scoreless and struck out 5 against Nevada on March the 2nd. And David Esker told me before the season, hey, we couldn't seem to hit this guy during the fall.
And he got the corner there. And as will happen with freshmen, Shaw has earned himself more leverage work as the year has gone on. Yes, it's only the 4th inning, but first and third, 2 outs, big situation in a 2-2 game. And a chop and a foul at home plate. So he's ahead of Moore, 1-2.
And this also marks all 3 games in this series in which a pitcher from Woodstock, Georgia, has made an appearance. Shaw twice now, and yesterday Clemson starter Michael Sharman, who pitched well and was terrific through 7 innings, efficient, and certainly probably earned better than what he got. But Sharman also from Woodstock, Georgia.
There goes the runner from first, and no throw, stolen base for Jason Foltz. So second and third now, 2-2 pitch with 2 outs. In the dirt, ball 3. First base is open, but you got the leadoff man, Clavon, in the on-deck circle. You would much rather take care of business against the 9-hole hitter, lefty on lefty, if you're Stanford. Swing and a miss, and Shaw gets his man. So the Cardinal limit the damage, but make no mistake, there was damage. A home run and an RBI single, accounting for 2 Clemson runs. And we are now knotted at 2 apiece, heading bottom 4 here at Sunken Diamond. Bottom of the 4th inning here at Stanford. Tigers, with 2 in the top, have tied the game at 2-2. And Stanford will try to answer, with Eric John leading things off. John playing second base today with Jimmy Natai out of the lineup. And he has really come on for the Stanford team over the last month. .345 now the season average with 6 homers. And Drew Titsworth still on the hill for the Tigers. No action in the pen. Slider for a strike.
Gianna transfer from Columbia. He was actually all Ivy second team in 24, but played just 1 game for the Lions last year due to injury.
Stanford happy to have him, and he drives one to center field. Back goes Clavon to the track, to the wall. It is gone. Eric Gian, deepest part of the ballpark. And Stanford gives up the lead in the top of the fourth, gets it right back in the bottom of the fourth.
And he sent that one, a monster shot that just kept right on carrying. And the celebration in the dugout as that ball hit about maybe a third of the way up the batting eye. And oh, he got all of that one, 422 feet.
Yeah, he barreled it.
Just mashing that one.
Second home run of the day for the Cardinal as Teddy Tokheim did the deed in the first inning. And it's now 3-2 Stanford. We will have a meeting at the mound with Court McDonald, the next hitter for the Cardinal.
I don't believe there's any action in the Clemson bullpen.
No,
My view was a bit obstructed.
Nope.
From my vantage point.
There is not. So this, you would normally think this is somewhat of a stall tactic.
Yep.
Let somebody start getting loose, but nobody's getting loose.
Yep.
So
Stanford hopes it's getting loose here.
it's a good day to hit.
Yep. And I have a feeling that 3 runs will not be enough.
You don't think that's going to hold up? McDonald stands in, and not for long. He just got plunked. I have a feeling maybe now there will be some action in the Clemson pen.
Yeah, is that ball, I mean, I'm not sure if it just slipped.
Yeah.
Or if Drew just wasn't concentrating or if his footing wasn't quite set. But that wasn't a pitch. That was a throw.
Yeah. So the second hit batsman by Titsworth. And Brady Reynolds will take his second at bat. He got hit first time up, so technically does not have an official at bat. Fastball outside, ball 1. You're wondering about McDonald. He has not attempted a steal this year. Reynolds fouls this one away as we see the shift on for Reynolds now with the shortstop Lichtenberger on the right side of second base. It's a lot of real estate. You can punch one opposite field. Interesting, though, the center fielder, Clavon, is shifted toward left center.
Yep.
There goes the runner, and shot off the glove of Lichtenberger. He was positioned perfectly. It went right at him, but he couldn't squeeze it. And McDonald, who was off with the pitch, is going to go all the way to third. That had all the makings of a double play.
Yep.
Runner on the move, line drive right at the infielder. That should be 2 outs and nobody on base. And Lichtenberger just took his eye off it. Ball caromed into right center field, and Stanford now has something cooking first and third, nobody out.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Lichtenberger's concentration was momentarily broken by McDonald bluffing from first and heading down to second as McDonald, made the motion and then kind of stopped after running in place for about, or running forward for about 5 feet or so. I'm not sure if that perhaps broke Lichtenberger's concentration. But yeah, that should have been a 6-3 double play.
Easy. And they do give him an error on the play, even though it was hit hard. It was hit right at him. We talked again about defensive positioning. It has been on the money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the shift was on, and he hit that under normal conditions. That's a line drive base hit center field, but because of the shift, it was right at the shortstop.
Yep.
Either way, Stanford will take it. And even though Reynolds doesn't get a hit for it, he'll probably take it because he scalded that ball.
And he's on base. And he found a way to get McDonald over the third. And give Stanford a chance to perhaps put up multiple runs in this frame.
And there is now action, very much so, in the Clemson bullpen.
Yep.
As Luke Lavin stands in from the left side. Well, you said 3 runs probably wouldn't be enough. Stanford with a chance to add to it immediately. 2 on, nobody out. Curveball fouled back. Lavin grounded to short, his first time up in the second inning. Average now 238. Does have 4 home runs. And he's shown a propensity to hit home runs in big spots. Some late game heroics early in the season. This would constitute a pretty big spot with 2 on and nobody out. And Titsworth staying away. It's 1-1.
Titsworth from Frankenmuth, Michigan. That's up Saginaw way, apparently.
Slider missed. Tried to back foot him. Luke wouldn't bite.
Michiganders, show you where they're from by, putting up their right hand and their thumb,
right.
To resemble the lower portion of the state.
Right.
And Frankenmuth is probably right where the thumb and the index finger meet.
There goes Reynolds, and a foul.
Yeah, right in that webbing. Up towards Saginaw. Of course, Eric Bakich, the former head coach at Michigan before coming down to Clemson. Led the Wolverines to the 2019 Men's College World Series. They got to the championship series, but lost there to Vanderbilt.
Two-two, low inside ball 3. So Reynolds was running on the previous pitch. See if David Esker turns him loose here. 3-2, nobody out. Lavin, a guy who does strike out a decent amount. There goes Reynolds. And there is a foul ball.
Laser just over the heads of the folks in the Clemson dugout.
So we'll do it again, 3-2. Reynolds got a good jump, and it doesn't matter because it's ball 4, so Stanford now has the bases loaded and nobody out.
And with Ethan Hott coming to the plate, anything is possible.
Appropriate walk-up music for Ethan Hott.
Well, let's see, what other options could you possibly have?
Oh, there are many.
Yes.
Go Hot in the City.
Okay, all right.
Billy Idol,
Yeah,
which of course is like 80 years before he was born. Probably not.
Well, I don't think Nelly was around when Ethan was born, or at his hottest
That's
anyway.
fair.
That's a different conversation for a different time.
Well, the slow walk to the mound, and this is going to end the day for Drew Titsworth. I haven't gotten the official call yet, but I think they're just giving the reliever a little bit of extra time. And in fact, the umpire signals to the bullpen. So Bakich says, you know what, my arm's tired, Blue, you do it. So we'll tell you about the new Tiger pitcher who comes into a difficult situation. Stanford, bases loaded, nobody out, up 3-2, bottom 4 here at Sunken Diamond. The new Clemson pitcher is Brendan Bennett, 6'1", 220, left-hander. He is a freshman from Novi, Michigan. Where on the hand is that, Troy?
That's just outside Detroit, I believe. Maybe up towards, closer towards Pontiac.
Okay. You are the resident Michigan expert.
Such as it is.
I tell you what, Bennett's been fantastic. This is his 10th appearance. He's given up 1 earned run in 9 2/3 innings. That's an ERA of 0.93. He's got 16 strikeouts in those 9 2/3 innings, and he's pitched in this series.
And don't be fooled by the Tigers' performance yesterday, in which the bullpen betrayed Clemson and coughed up the 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th to point the way for Stanford's win. But Clemson very impressive with their bullpen. And Bennett, the latest, to try to get an opportunity here to limit Stanford to just 1 run here.
Again, you talk about leverage situations. It is the 4th inning, but doesn't get a whole lot more pressure packed than bases loaded, nobody out in a 1-run game.
His last time out, Bennett threw 2 scoreless against Miami. That was Saturday of last weekend. Struck out a couple along the way.
So, Ethan Hott in at the corners, double play depth up the middle. And the first pitch, Hott swings and doesn't get it.
Titsworth 3+, 4 hits, 2 walks and 3 strikeouts, and a couple hit batters, of course. He's responsible for all 3 of the runners on base.
Outside. So a couple of changeups to start the at-bat to Ethan Hott, who grounded to second his first time up. And Hott skies one down the left field line. A lot of distance, but very, very foul. McDonald at third, Reynolds at second, Lavin at first. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th, and a 1-2 pitch coming to the Cardinal center fielder. And he drives one to center field. Tagging is McDonald. Catch by Clavon. The throw comes through and safe on a close play at home. Stanford leads at 4-2. And on the play, Brady Reynolds moves up to third. So a nice AB by Ethan Hott. Sacrifice fly gives Stanford a 2-run cushion. And now with first and third and 1 out, it'll be Rintaro Sasaki, who hit a bullet double to right center last time up, 109 off the bat. Check swing did not go. And we'll see what Stanford chooses to do with Luke Lavin, who's not setting any land speed records at first base. Probably want to keep that first baseman on the bag. I'm guessing he will not be moving in a first and third situation. And a pop-up on the infield. Foul territory. Here comes Foltz. Squeezes it, and Sasaki cannot add to the Cardinal lead. It's a big out there for Brendan Bennett.
But the work not done yet. You see who's coming up to the plate now?
I do indeed.
Yeah. Teddy Tokheim.
The man who hit one that still hasn't landed in the first inning. His 10th home run of the season, a gargantuan blast to left field. And certainly the hottest hitter in the Cardinal dugout. It's a good pitch. Drops in a curveball outside corner for strike 1.
Intentionally walked his last time up.
With a runner on second and 1 out in the 3rd inning.
Yeah.
That's respect or fear.
Can be a thin line between the two.
Right. And there's a hot shot into center field, but it's going to hang up for Clavon. So Tokheim hit another one right on the nose. But he did not hit it where they ain't. And Clemson escapes further damage. The Cardinals score twice, a home run and a sacrifice fly. And after 4 complete here at Stanford, Cardinal 4, Tigers 2. (4-2) Stanford heading top 5 here at Sunken Diamond. And for the play-by-play in inning number 5, my man, Troy Clardy.
Thank you, Scott. Top of the 5th, top of the order for Clemson. Clavon, McClatty, and Crichton due up for the Tigers in this frame. Clavon 0 for 2. Facing the lefty Andrew Shaw. Fires a fastball upstairs for ball 1 to Clavon.
By the way, scoring change on the Brady Reynolds liner in the last inning. Initially ruled an error, changed to a base hit.
Breaking ball misses upstairs, 2-0 to Bryce Clavon. Stanford able to answer after Clemson had tied things up 2 apiece. Stanford striking with 2 of its own in the bottom of the 4th. Inside 3-0.
Well, this is the situation where teams want the quintessential shutdown inning. Put a couple on the board, you want to come back and hold the other team scoreless. And certainly not walking the leadoff hitter is a helpful endeavor in that quest.
You know, there are so many numbers around baseball. I'm sure that someone somewhere has crunched the numbers of how many times a leadoff batter has walked and how many times that leadoff batter has eventually come around to score in the inning. Count full on Clavon.
Yeah, nice job by Shaw coming back from 3-0. It's now 3-2.
The 3-2 pitch. Skied to left. McDonald going back. He turns and he watches it go. Clavon keeps Clemson clicking. And now it's a 1-run game as Bryce connects and makes it a 4-3 contest.
Much like the Tokheim home run in the first inning for Stanford, no doubt off the bat. Just the 3rd home run of the season for Clavon. And so much for the shutdown inning. It is now a 4-3 ball game.
410 feet, and Bryce knew it the whole way. The ball just carried over left center field.
So that's 2 home runs apiece now for Stanford and Clemson.
And Tristan McClatty stepping up to the plate. He can certainly add to that tally. With 8 so far on the season, he looks at strike 1 on the outside corner here. McClatty a strikeout in the 1st, a ground out to end the 3rd. This is outside 1-1. Some scores from elsewhere around the ACC. A fairly light day, with today being the holiday. Many of the conference series went Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The 1-1 to McClatty. Bouncing and finally traveling and trickling foul, 1-2. Pitt with the 4-3 win over Wake Forest. And Virginia Tech doubled up Miami, 6-3. Again, both of those finals. This is the only other conference game being played today, as you've got Jacksonville versus Florida State in Tallahassee starting at the top of the hour. One ball and two strikes to McClatty, who's stepping back in. Now that's down low. Count goes to 2-2. Of course, as the week began, Florida State with the best winning percentage in conference at 7-2. As the count goes to 3-2 on McClatty.
So Shaw has now gone full on both batters this inning.
The payoff pitch. Rope to right. Bounces in front of Reynolds. And now the top of the order starting to get things going for the Tigers. And Jack Crichton about to step up to the plate. Last time we saw him, he was putting one over the fence. And that brings Thomas Eager out of the Stanford dugout. And he points to the pen. And Stanford will turn to its fourth different pitcher of the day. Clemson trying to restore momentum in this game. They've already pushed one across as Shaw comes off. And a new pitcher coming on for the Cardinals. We'll tell you about him in just a moment. 4-3, Stanford leads top fifth. Four to three, Stanford with the lead in the top of the fifth inning, but Clemson has already tagged one on here in this frame, and they're looking for more. And that's why Torrin O'Haron has come on to the mound. O'Haron, the senior from Rockland, California, the 6'1" righty. O'Haron about to make his 14th appearance of the year, does have one save to his credit, a 2-1 record and a 4.19 ERA. 19 in the third innings pitched, 23 hits. 14 runs, 9 of them earned, 16 strikeouts versus 11 walks. An opposing batter is hitting .299 against O'Haron, who has hit 2 batters and dealt 1 wild pitch this year. Jack Crichton stepping back into the box, grounded out in the first, solo shot to lead off the fourth. Bryce Clavon hit a solo shot to lead off the fifth, followed by McClady's single. So one on and nobody out for Crichton. Crichton, another Michigander.
Bunch of those in this ball game.
Yeah, more than a few. Crichton actually committed to Michigan coming out of high school, but then followed Bakich to Clemson. Runner going. The throw to second. Not in time. Gian didn't have the clamps on the ball either. So McClady now 13 of 14 on stolen bases this season.
Wasting no time. First pitch from a new reliever.
Lavin setting up on the outside corner of the plate. And the pitch low, 1-1. Actually, in Jack Crichton's high school senior year, he missed over 3 weeks with an upper body injury. And on the day he was cleared, he smacked a hit that won the league title. How about that?
Timely.
Back to the screen, 1-2.
Crichton's home run in the fourth inning was his first of the season.
McClady at second. Nobody out. And there's the punch out. Called strike 3.
Now, Crichton didn't like it. It's the first strikeout for Torin O'Haron, excuse me.
Well, it was 93 miles an hour right down El Camino Real. Brings up Luke Gaffney, who was 0 for 2 today. And the spinoff. I should correct something I mentioned earlier. I said that Florida State was hosting Jacksonville later today. That is not the case. That didn't seem right as I was looking at the scoreboard that I was looking at. Those two teams are not playing today. Florida State wrapped up a 3-game set with Virginia and actually took 2 out of 3 against the Cavaliers. Ball bounces away from Gian, but not far enough away for McClady to think about taking 90.
No, but clearly McClady has the Cardinals' attention on the base paths.
O'Haron trying to keep things settled a bit. And that Florida State-Virginia series, the marquee series in ACC ball this week with both those teams top 10. Popped up.
Way up.
And drifting over into foul ground. 2 away. Nate Savoy strides to the plate. Doubled in the second, grounded out to third in the fourth.
Now, this is a big batter for O'Haron. See if he can get out of here and still have a lead halfway through the game.
High strike called there, 0-1. So Florida State took 2 of 3 against Virginia. However, Georgia Tech took care of business across the bay at Cal this weekend. So the Ramblin' Wreck, as of right now, in first place in the ACC. The appeal to first base umpire Greg Charles, who said nope. Savoy held up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Boy, Georgia Tech can mash as they just pounded poor Cal. Bears now 1-11 in the league. Down low, 2-1. The next team up from Cal in the ACC standings is Clemson, 3-8.
It's been a tough run for the Bears in Berkeley.
Yep.
They got off to a great start in the non-conference, and as again will happen.
Yep.
Hit the skids in conference play, and that's a big hit.
Smacked back up the middle and through for a base hit. McClatty hustling around third, and he ties the game as he comes across and makes the 4-4 contest.
Savoy's second hit of the day, and just like that, it is 4-4.
Yeah, Savoy scalded that one.
Yep.
Just smacked it right back past O'Haron. Jacob Jarrell was hit by a pitch and later came around to score, part of Clemson's 2-run fourth inning. And Georgia Tech has been impressive. North Carolina, double-digit wins in conference. They're 10-4, technically in third place. BC, that's a bit of a surprise. They've had success this season. As the count goes to 2-0 on Jacob Jarrell. Jarrell in front of that one. The count goes to 2-1.
Nobody throwing behind O'Haron in the Cardinal bullpen, so at least for now, this is his ball game.
Yep.
The fourth Cardinal pitcher of the day.
2 in, 1 on, 2 out. And a roller that Gian just can't get to into center field. And Savoy heads over to third.
Remember earlier when we talked about how the defensive placement was brilliant on both sides all game?
Yep.
Not so much there, because that was a garden variety roll out to second base under normal circumstances, but the shift was on.
Yep.
Gian was nowhere near the normal second base spot, and it just rolled right into the outfield.
And Savoy motors into third. So Clemson extends the inning, and Tyler Lichtenberger 0 for 1 today with a line out to short. As Bates was actually standing behind the second base bag on that line out. That was back in the second inning.
That was one where the defensive positioning
Right.
was
Right.
perfect. We've seen some scalded baseballs here this afternoon. That was not one of them.
I don't remember what the exit velo was on that particular one.
Yeah.
Another throw back over the first. North Carolina doing well in ACC ball. That will be Clemson's next opponent in ACC play. Infield will have a conference here as Clemson's actually sticking around here. They're going to play one more here in the Bay Area tomorrow at Santa Clara. And that will be a 9 p.m. Eastern time start, just 10 miles down the road from where we are right now. So Clemson making a weekend of it before they host North Carolina next week.
Hey, Bay Area, nice place. May as well hang out for a couple extra days.
Could think of worse places to spend an extra day or so. And Thomas Eager is heading out to the mound.
Boy, they got someone ready in a hurry if they've got a new pitcher coming in again.
And that is indeed the case. O'Haron coming off and pitcher number 5 coming in for the Cardinal. 4-4 our score. The go-ahead run 90 feet away. Can Clemson punch it across? Let's find out in just a moment here on ACC Network Extra. Tigers have pushed 2 across in the 5th inning. And Mike Ersbaumer is going to try to keep Clemson there as he has come on to the mound for the Stanford Cardinal, the freshman from San Clemente, California. Ersbaumer on the year, about to make his 12th appearance, an 0-1 record and a 6.23 ERA, has 1 save, 13 innings pitched, 11 hits, 10 runs, 9 of them earned, 16 strikeouts versus 15 walks, has a whip of 2 even. Opposing batters hitting .234 against the youngster who appeared on Friday through an inning and 2/3 of scoreless ball. Stanford ran 8 pitchers out there against Clemson on Friday, and they might be on pace to do that again here today. And Ersbaumer was one of about the 3 who actually fared well against Clemson on Friday.
I was going to say over-under for pitchers was 8, so TBD on whether we get there, but this is number 5.
Yep. Runners at the corners and 2 out as Lichtenberger takes the first pitch on the outside corner for strike 1.
Good curveball to start the at-bat. Ersbaumer's 1 save of the season came in the first game of the season against number 24 Arizona. And now we're going to have a Clemson conversation in front of their dugout with all parties, runners and hitter.
Yep. Make sure everyone's on the same page. Want to get this right. I have a feeling that if Clemson had a plane to catch tonight, the pace of things would be picked up here just a little bit.
Maybe.
But as it is, as mentioned, they're playing against Santa Clara tomorrow before heading back to upstate South Carolina. Lichtenberger, the transfer from Appalachian State.
Well, we'll see if that meeting has anything to do with there being runners at first and third, 2 out, and possibly putting a man in motion.
Yep.
Although Gerald, in theory, not a base-stealing threat.
Filthy pitch from Ersbaumer.
It's 2 pitches, 2 really good curveballs.
Boy, and that one had some wicked break on it. Ersbaumer ahead in the count, 0-2. The lefty freshman. Tries to paint the corner, maybe just a touch outside, perhaps just a touch low, too.
Went right back to it and almost got himself a 3-pitch strikeout.
2 in, 2 on, 2 out. He waves at it, doesn't connect, swing and a miss, strike 3, and Mike Ersbaumer is fired up. But Clemson evens the score. Tigers 4, Cardinal 4. Bottom 5th in just a moment here on ACC Network Extra. Four and a half innings in, and perhaps 4.5 to go. We're still tied at 4 apiece between Clemson and Stanford. Both of these teams looking at this as a potential momentum shift game. Both of these squads towards the bottom of the ACC standings need to start stacking together some wins. Winner of this one wins the series and carries momentum into next week's action. Charlie Bates is 0 for 2 as he leads off the 5th inning. Brendan Bennett, is on the mound for the Tigers. As Bates looks at ball 1. And now Bennett deals once again. It's outside, 2-0. Final line on Clemson starter Drew Titsworth, 3+, 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. Inside 3-0.
Actually, should now be all earned because they changed the error
yes, you are
to
correct.
a hit.
You are correct.
Sorry, Drew.
The 3-0. Gets the outside corner called, 3-1. Stanford picked to finish 10th in this year's ACC preseason poll. A 3-1. Floats in there, count full. So Stanford underperforming compared to that. Obviously, preseason polls are what they are. They usually carry about as much weight as a degree from USC. The 3-2.
Wow.
Fouled off. Count stays at 3-2. And I mean the University of Southern California. Just to make it clear.
Shots fired.
I don't get to do that much anymore.
Right.
The 3-2. High, ball 4, leadoff walk aboard. Here's J.J. Moran.
Well, talked in the previous inning after Stanford had scored twice. Pontificated over the issues with coming back and walking the first guy in the next inning when you want that shutdown frame, and here we are. Bennett's a really good pitcher, but leadoff walk, never ideal.
Moran watches the first pitch go over for strike 1. He is 0 for 2 today, a ground out and a strikeout. Shift is on with 3 infielders to the left side. And that's in there for a called strike 2. JJ 6'2", 216. Up an inch and up 6 pounds from last year. So he didn't have the freshman 15 like most of us did, but did get the freshman 6. And I'm sure that is a different 6 pounds for him than the 6 pounds I gained from my freshman year. Differently distributed, we'll put it that way. No balls, 2 strikes. Tries the curve, misses high, 1-2. A well-decorated player from the San Diego area. Got him. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
So nice job by Bennett coming back after the leadoff walk, getting himself a strikeout.
As Moran just swings through that one, and it brings up Eric Gian. Blasted a home run to lead off the 4th. And put Stanford back in the lead at that point. A lead that has since vanished. You know, if you're a Clemson fan, you want to go back to that crack I made about USC. If you're a Clemson fan, maybe you, if you want to extend that to University of South Carolina, you can. I won't. Clemson and South Carolina don't get along too well, I am told. Low and inside, 1-1. But I'll leave that to you guys back there, our friends watching us back in the Palmetto State. A 1-1 to Gian. And a throwback to first instead.
So I'm doing the math. We are about halfway through this game. It is 2 hours and 2 minutes old.
You got somewhere to go?
I have nowhere to go. And apparently Clemson has nowhere to go. We know Stanford has nowhere to go.
You got something to do?
Wind has picked up a little bit. The flag's now right to left.
Temperature has picked up a bit as well. Was 77 degrees when we began. Right now it's 81. And the wind indeed has picked up. Video confirmation there. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. Fires a fastball in there, called strike 2.
Stanford does not run much. Only 22 stolen bases on the season, but one guy you do have to pay attention to is Charlie Bates, who has swiped 5 in 8 attempts.
Well high, as Gerald had to reach up and get out of his crouch. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Eric Gian. Eric coaxed a bases-loaded walk against Cal State Fullerton back on February 22nd. Thought about it and doesn't go for it. Count full.
And we'll see if David Esker has Bates on the move. 3-2, 1 out.
Bates walked. He's at first. And the 3-2 pitch. Just in front of it. Rolls it foul.
Bates is having a hard time reading the move of Brendan Bennett. Looked like he was thinking about running, and then when the pitch came home, he was actually moving back toward first.
So we'll do it again as the saga continues. Payoff pitch. And the at-bat extended, the plate appearance extended. Should have done a little more sleuthing to see if Clemson flew commercial out this way. The 3-2 pitch, once again, here it is. Fly ball, right center. And on the move, Crichton makes the grab.
That ball hung up a little bit. As well as it has carried today. John didn't hit that one, obviously, nearly as well as the last one that cleared the fence in center field.
And Crichton had a ways to go, but with the ball hanging up as long as it did, it gave Crichton enough time to get over there and make the grab. Court McDonald was hit by a pitch in his last plate appearance back in the 4th inning. I say back in the 4th inning like it happened a long time ago.
Well, it kind
feels
of
like
was.
it was.
On the score sheet, not so much.
But yeah, not sure if Clemson baseball flies commercial. I can tell you that there are no non-stops from San Francisco to Greenville, South Carolina. Inside, ball 1 to McDonald. I can confirm there are non-stops to Raleigh-Durham from SFO. I've Been on that one more than a few times over the last year plus. And it goes right down the middle, 1-1. Not so much to Greensboro, which is the closest airport to Wake Forest. It's funny, I actually fly into Raleigh-Durham and make the hour-and-a-half drive from there whenever Stanford plays Wake. It's just easier to do. Count stays at 1-1. Clemson does have its own pilot on staff, on the athletic department staff. Yeah, on their masthead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Off the fists, popped up and well into foul territory and landing at around the 5th row. One ball, 2 strikes.
McDonald 0 for 1 on the day. He has grounded to short, been hit by a pitch. Seen a few guys plunked this afternoon.
Yep.
Still hitting a strong 341. There goes the runner.
And this one is off the fists. Short blooper that plops down into center field for a base hit. Bates hustling, sliding, and scoring. Bates was on the move right from jump. And that gives Stanford the go-ahead run. It's 5-4.
So they picked the right pitch to run on. As a looping single by Court McDonald, which if he's not running, maybe he gets to third, maybe it's first and second. But with the extra jump and a head of steam and probably a scouting report, decided to just keep right on motoring around third, no hesitation, sending him home, and just like that, Stanford's back on top.
And you get the feeling that in this game, in this kind of game, that it's shaped up to be certainly over the last couple of innings, you're going to need every single run you can get, no matter how you get it. As Brady Reynolds looks at strike one. Reynolds hit by a pitch in the second and singled in the fourth. A play that was initially ruled an E6.
So they are scoring that a double as opposed to a single and advancing on the throw. McDonald will certainly take it.
So McDonald, a 2-run home run on Friday, and now an RBI double here today.
It's the third lead of the game for Stanford. 2-0, 4-2, now 5-4.
McDonald dancing around second. And now a balk, I believe, has been called.
Yep.
It has. So McDonald will go up 90 feet.
There's some discussion here between the third base ump and the home plate ump about that balk call.
Now, Darren Hyman, the third base umpire, and Christopher Gonzalez, the home plate umpire, conferring, and now I think they might have everyone potentially compare notes. And are they going to take this one off the board? It looks like it.
Yeah.
Let's show you what may have happened here.
McDonald's strolling back to second. That flinch right there.
Yeah.
Well, it looked like a flinch.
So McDonald heads back to second.
Apparently did not make eye contact with the batter, had not made eye contact yet, and therefore the flinch is allowable.
Pitch low, 2-1 to Brady Reynolds. And you gotta, there's a bit of a checklist for pitcher procedure.
Bennett's been so good this season, he has not labored a whole lot, but this has been a long inning.
That misses outside, and apparently that is ball 4.
Not according to the scoreboard.
Nope, and that's what I was going off of. I didn't notice Christopher Gonzalez making any signals, so Ball 4, it is.
Okay. Balk, no balk, ball 4, ball 3.
Well, and there was an interesting sequence in the game yesterday. Trevor Moore, who came on to close, was actually taken off the mound for a second, and the umpires were telling him, hey, there's something in your windup that doesn't quite mesh with how you should be dealing with your windup. And Trevor told me after the game, hey, I changed my windup for this year to avoid that kind of thing, and it still happened to me twice this year. So in any case, there will be a new pitcher coming on board for the Clemson Tigers. Stanford back in the lead and trying to extend it. 5-4 our score, bottom 5th on ACC Network Extra. Dylan Harrison on the mound now for Clemson, as Stanford has retaken the lead in the bottom of the 5th. It's 5-4. Harrison, a freshman, some size, 6'5", 215, from Fontana, California. As Harrison on the mound for his 7th appearance, has 4 starts this year. 1-1 in a 2.84 ERA, 19 innings pitched, 15 hits, 6 runs all earned, 14 walks versus 5 strikeouts. Opposing batters hitting .224 against Harrison, who has hit 6 batters in 19 innings of work. Luke Lavin 0 for 1, walked in his last plate appearance. Runners are first and second with 2 out, and that one's fouled off.
So back in the late 1990s, I was a young sports anchor reporter at KCOY, the CBS affiliate in Santa Maria, California.
Okay.
And we had a cameraman named Dustin Harrison. Dustin would go on to have a son named Dylan Harrison, who is now pitching for the Clemson Tigers. And Dustin texted me about 20 minutes ago and said, hey, dude, I haven't talked to you in 25 years, but I'm at the game. My son's a pitcher for Clemson. Let's catch up after the game.
Wow. How about that?
How about that?
Small world, isn't it? Harrison challenges inside, but doesn't get the call. Well, you said you had a story while we were off air, and that did not disappoint.
That's my story.
That didn't miss by much. The 1-2. Crossed him up. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Stanford does get the RBI double from Court McDonald to put the Cardinal back on top. It's been back and forth throughout this game. Stanford ahead right now. It's 5-4 after 5. 5 innings in the book. Stanford scored the first 2 of this game. Clemson has tied it on a couple of occasions, but each time Stanford has been able to answer. Cardinal ahead 5-4 right now after 5. I'm Troy Clarity, and to my right, and to call the 6th and the 7th, is my man Scott Reese.
All right, Troy, appreciate that. It'll be Jason Foltz, Jackson Moore, and Bryce Clavon for the Tigers against Mike Erspamer, who came in and put out the fire in the top of the 5th after the Tigers had temporarily tied the game at 4 with a couple of runs. Stanford answers with 1 in the bottom of the 5th, so now 5 consecutive half innings where we have had runs scored. Tigers will try to extend that streak. Stanford will try to extinguish that streak. Foltz 1 for 2 on the day, and he takes a strike. Grounded to short and singled. Drove in a run in the 4th inning with the base hit.
Boy, Mike Erspamer, who's on the mound for Stanford, came in a high-leverage situation, struck out Tyler Lichtenberger to end the inning, and he was pumped up coming off the mound.
And we'll see if he can carry that over. Missed with the changeup.
The youthful exuberance.
And we have more action, stop me if you've heard this before, in the Cardinal bullpen.
Foltz from Harbor Creek, Pennsylvania, but finished up his prep career in South Carolina.
And he lost him. So again, the dreaded leadoff walk came around to score in the last inning for Stanford, and now Clemson has Foltz aboard. Jackson Moore will stride to the plate. Moore a single and a strikeout. Foltz back easily on the pickoff attempt.
And that single by Moore was a sizzler right back up the middle on the very first pitch that he saw all day.
Defensive swing, fouls it off into the netting.
Speaking of first pitches, we had a dignitary throw out the ceremonial first pitch here today.
We did indeed. That would be the new football coach here at Stanford, Tavita Pritchard, former quarterback.
Stanford football spring practice got underway last week.
Moore chops one up along the first baseline. It rolls and rolls, and that's going to stay fair. Exit velocity not registering on that one.
Boy, how many laws of physics did that break? I mean, that thing appeared destined to perhaps veer foul about maybe 70 feet down.
Well, and we've seen 3 or 4 of those now, you know, little swinging bunts down either baseline. And in each previous instance, the fielder has let the ball roll and travel and travel and eventually went foul.
Yep.
And that's what Sasaki did, but it turned left, hit the bag, and now Stanford's in a little bit of trouble. His first single was hit a lot harder.
Yes. Well, it looks like everyone's going to meet here. Clemson, I believe, called the timeout first to get everyone on the same page on the base paths. And Thomas Eager's going to take this opportunity to also head out to the mound. And might there be a transaction involved here as well? I'm not sure.
If you're wearing black, meet on the mound. If you're wearing orange, meet near the on-deck circle.
I'm wearing gray.
Then you stay right here.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, good to see Tavita Pritchard throwing out the first pitch here today. Stanford football season will be here before we know it. They're doing something pretty neat as well this upcoming Saturday, holding an open practice
at Kezar.
Up at Kezar Stadium, historic Kezar Stadium up in San Francisco.
They did that back in the Andrew Luck playing days, which I'm sure is no coincidence that Andrew bringing it back.
Of course, Kezar Stadium, the old home of the San Francisco 49ers throughout the 50s and 60s. Setting of a pivotal scene in the movie Dirty Harry. I won't spoil it for you.
Speaking of Stanford football, got to catch up with former Stanford coach David Shaw, who was on campus yesterday.
Right. Yeah.
Now the quarterbacks coach for the Detroit Lions. Bryce Clavon hits with 2 on and nobody out. Top of the 6th inning, and he takes a strike. Bender on the outside corner. Clavon today, a couple of flyouts and a round tripper. Hit his 3rd home run of the year in the 5th inning. Big swing there, fouls it back, 0-2. Stanford will head to Louisville next weekend for a 3-game series. Clemson, as we mentioned, will stick around, play Santa Clara. And there's a line drive, base hit left field by Clavon. Here comes the runner around third. Oh, goodness, the ball gets through Court McDonald, and 2 runs are going to score. Clavon is going to keep right on going to third base. So Fultz scored easily, and then Jackson Moore kept right on running on the error in left field. That is a disaster for Stanford. It is now 6-5. Clemson as the lead flips again.
Yeah, Tigers actually now on the lead for the first time here. As hard as it might be to believe here, and McDonald just straight booted that in left field. I was watching it the whole way and got past him, and damage done by Bryce Clavon, who dealt the solo home run earlier. And now tacks on 2 more and puts the Tigers ahead for the first time today.
Well, and now, obviously, a big-time jam. The infield will come in a 1-run game with a runner on third, still nobody out, and Tristan McClatty will be the batter. McClatty, the leading hitter on this Clemson team, at .339. Ersbomber going to have to bear down. Curveball did not get the call. A little frustration there by the pitcher. So that now makes 6 consecutive half innings in which at least 1 run has been scored. A lot of crooked numbers.
Single E7.
Yep.
Officially.
I don't think that one's going to be changed. The 2-1 to McClatty, and that hit him. And it hit him in the head area, and he is down. Just got away from Ersbomber. You can see the look on his face. He feels terrible. As trainer comes out to attend to Tristan McClatty. A 2-strike pitch, obviously no intent. Just flat out got away from Ersbomber. The batter feels terrible physically, and the pitcher feels terrible emotionally, but fortunately for all involved, McClatty gets up and started to walk toward first base, but they may think twice about that as he heads toward the dugout.
Yeah, he got redirected over towards the dugout.
Anytime you're talking about a potential head injury, obviously extreme caution is warranted.
David Esker out there as well, just to confirm, hey, look, no malicious intent there or anything like that.
I don't
make sure we're good.
I don't think anyone
No.
thinks that here. But we are going to have a pinch runner.
And I believe we are going to have perhaps a pitching change as well, as Eager is back up and out of the dugout once more.
All right, so a lot going on here. We will sort it all out. New runner, new pitcher, and Clemson in business up 6-5 with 2 on and nobody out here in the top of the 6th. So a lot to get to here. First, the pinch runner for Clemson is Briggs Sullivan, who has not played a whole lot this year. He's a redshirt freshman from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Only played in 3 games, has 1 at bat. And obviously, this is a pinch running situation and might be a one and done for him. We'll see defensively what they do in the bottom of the 6th inning. For Stanford, the 6th pitcher of the afternoon is Cohen Gomez, who is 3-0. In fact, got the win last night, if I'm not mistaken.
He did.
ERA still a little inflated at 7.06. He's thrown 21 2/3 innings. Does have 30 strikeouts, and certainly this would be what they call a strikeout situation. Stanford facing a 1st and 3rd, nobody out deal here with the heart of the order coming up for Clemson. Jack Crichton, who already has a home run today.
Gomez, a hard thrower, over-the-top delivery. An inning and 2/3 yesterday. Made just one major mistake, a 2-run home run by Luke Gaffney.
Good pitch there, swing and a miss. Evens the count at 1-1. Crichton's homer, his first of the season. Came back in the 4th inning. It was the first Clemson run of the day. And that is to the right center field gap, and that is going to fall in for another hit, and it's going to be another run as Clavon scores. Going 1st to 3rd is the pinch runner Sullivan, and an RBI single by Jack Crichton makes it 7-5 Tigers.
Nice easy swing there by Crichton. He now has 2 run producing hits this afternoon. And still 1st and 3rd, nobody out.
Yeah, not getting any easier for Stanford now with Luke Gaffney coming to the plate, although he is 0 for 3 on the day. And there's a hot shot inside third and down the line. 1 run will score. Crichton will stop at third. Gaffney has a double. And the hit parade continues for the Tigers. That is now 12 on the day. And they lead it 8-5.
Well, and in back-to-back days, Gaffney wins the battle against Gomez. Just scalds this one down the third base line to bring in yet another run. And Clemson has pushed 4 across so far. And Gaffney says, I see you guys back in the dugout.
Nate Savoy now with first base open. Still nobody out. The Tigers have already played at 4 here in the 6th. Pitch is down low to Savoy, who wears number 99.
And this game perhaps threatening to perhaps spin to whirlpool velocity here for Stanford.
Big cut there, 1-1.
And you feel for Mike Ersbomber, who was so fired up, so pumped up after getting the strikeout to end the 5th inning, but could not maintain it in the 6th. The highest of highs and then the lowest of lows, hitting Tristan McClatty for the final batter that he faced today.
Off speed, 1-2.
And obviously, if we hear any updates on McClatty's condition, we will certainly pass them along.
Hopefully, just a headache.
Hopefully just precautionary.
Right? He looked like he wanted to go down to first and stay in the game, and the coaches put the kibosh on that as that roller goes foul.
Clemson's offense is already missing enough key players.
Yeah, really.
Can't afford to lose McClatty, who
no.
comes into this game, Tigers leader in batting average, at-bats, runs, hits, RBI, and walks, and stolen bases, too.
There's a bouncing ball to the hole at short, fielded by Bates. They get the out at first, but another run scores as Sullivan touches home for his first collegiate run scored. And it's 9-5. Pardon me, that was Sullivan on the previous play who scored. It was Crichton, who has scored many collegiate runs, just scored another one. Either way, it's 9-5. Clemson now runner on second and 1 out. Swing and a miss by Jacob Jarrell. The catcher flied out, hit by a pitch, and singled.
Close the book on Mike Ersbomber, and it's not a line that he's going to want to remember. A third of an inning, 2 hits, 4 runs, all earned.
Jarrell and Tyler Lichtenberger, the only 2 Tiger starters without a hit so far today. (3-1) from Cohen Gomez. And they ring him up, strike 2, says the first base umpire, so full count. And that will be 2-2.
Jarrell with 2 base hits so far this weekend.
Checked his swing, did not go around, so full count. And still only 1 out in this inning. Tigers have put 5 on the board against Stanford. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First strikeout for Cohen Gomez comes at a good time with a man in scoring position, 1 out. And Tyler Lichtenberger will come to the plate.
Boy, that one just fell right off the table. Gerald had little chance to try to get to that one. And the pitching parade continues.
It does
for
indeed.
the Cardinal.
It does indeed. We are going to have yet another Stanford arm on the bump. We'll tell you about it, set the scene in just a moment. 9-5 Clemson, top of the 6th inning at Stanford. The new Stanford pitcher is Brock Kettleson. No record on the season, a 5.6 ERA, 22 strikeouts in 17 2/3 innings. Kettleson, of course, a two-way player for the Cardinal. And he inherits a runner on second. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. And Tyler Lichtenberger, the shortstop, will be the batter.
Kettleson out of Scotts Valley, California. About maybe a 45-minute drive south of here. Went to Valley Christian High School in San Jose, which could also be about a 45-minute drive from here, depending upon traffic.
Right.
Even though it's only about 15 miles.
And Kettleson's first pitch settles on the inside corner for a strike.
A lot of notice and accolades surrounding this young man coming into his Stanford career.
Very highly touted out of high school. He's a hitter and pitcher. And that's right down El Camino Real, as Troy would say.
Brock Kettleson, Brock Sell, the two main freshmen in this year's incoming class.
And the 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. So Kettleson comes in, puts out what is left of the fire, but certainly damage done. The Tigers score 5 times, take their first lead of the game, and it's substantial. 9-5 Clemson, heading bottom 6 here on the farm. Back at Stanford, 9-5 Clemson. The Cardinal with work to do on a very warm Sunday afternoon. And we will see a new second baseman now as Jay Dillard comes into the game at the Keystone for the Tigers. Replacing Tristan McClatty, who of course was hit in the head by a pitch in the previous half inning. Ethan Hott skies one to right field. Going to be a tough play for Gaffney. Stays with it and makes the catch despite a collision with Jay Dillard, who's been in the ballgame for exactly 3 pitches.
Well, and everybody needs a bit of a moment to try to get back up to their feet here.
And they seem to be okay. It's a great play by Gaffney to stay with that baseball. In fair territory, so if that drops, it's extra bases.
Yep.
So a physically taxing last 20 minutes or so for the Clemson Tigers.
Well, it's been a physically taxing week for Jay Dillard as he was not feeling well on Friday. A late scratch about 20 minutes before first pitch on Friday. Jason Foltz has replaced him and has performed well in his stead. But Dillard now being placed into the game and already seeing some action here.
Dylan Harrison back to work facing Rintaro Sasaki. Left that one upstairs. Sasaki, strikeout, a pop out, and a line drive double. Power versus power here. Strike on the outside corner.
Sasaki, big story out of Japan. A lot of attention last year. Expectations might have been on the unfair side.
And another pop-up. See if this one stays in play. It will indeed. And a nice running catch by Jacob Jarrell, the catcher. So 2 relatively high degree of difficulty plays defensively by the Tigers here in this 6th inning.
Yeah, that's a master class by Gerald. Number 1, remembering that there is ample foul room here at Sunken Diamond. So there's a chance for you to make plays here in this park that you might not have a chance to make in maybe 95% of other parks here. 2, locating it quickly. 3, staying with it. And 4, making the grab. That was outstanding stuff all around by Gerald.
Teddy Tokheim, the batter, and he fouls one straight back. Tokheim hit a home run, seems like a long time ago, to start the scoring in this ballgame.
Well, it was. It was probably about 2 hours and maybe 35, 40 minutes ago. But who's counting?
He was intentionally walked and hit a bullet to center field that was caught by Bryce Clavon. So 1 for 2. And another high pop-up. See if this one stays in play. Foltz giving it a look, but it will bounce off the dugout and become a souvenir.
Well, my first thought as that ball went off the bat was, is Gerald going to get to this one too? I wouldn't have put it past him. That's definitely one of the more, look, we've had home runs, we've had intriguing plays, but that might be one of the more impressive plays I think we've seen this afternoon.
1-2 to Tokheim is bounced into left field for a base hit.
So multi-hit games now for Teddy Tokheim in all 3 this weekend against Clemson.
First hit allowed by Harrison. This Clemson bullpen has certainly done its job. 2 2/3 of 1-run baseball thus far. First Brendan Bennett, and now Dylan Harrison.
Tokheim's 4th consecutive multi-hit game and his 8th in his last 9. Is that good?
That is quite good.
Is that something I can interest you in? and it's not just, you know, I mean, you can have some multi-hit games and they're not of any real consequence. You know, you're legging on infield singles that don't really mean it. No, these are big hits, big context hits, home runs, game-changing hits.
Bates, first base, easy for Gaffney, and a nice job once again by Dylan Harrison as the side is retired. No runs a hit, one left for the Cardinal, and the first 0 we've had on the scoreboard in quite some time. 2/3 of the way through here at Sunken, it is 9-5 Clemson. Welcome back, everybody. Clemson coming to bat here in inning number 7, already with a 4-run lead, courtesy of that 5-run 6th inning. As Brock Kettleson goes back to work for the Cardinal, he is the 7th Stanford pitcher of the day. Jason Foltz to lead it off. Second straight inning he has led off for the Tigers. Foltz with a hit, a walk, a ground out, a run scored, an RBI. And he looks at ball 2.
Nick Dugan started, then Cassius Thomas, Andrew Shaw, Torrin O'Haron, Mike Erspamer, Cohen Gomez, and now Brock Kettleson.
And at this moment, Troy, there is nobody warming up in the Stanford bullpen. Insert joke here about nobody left in the Stanford bullpen. But again, they did use 8 pitchers on Friday, so this is not new.
Well, and one of them was David Weiser, a freshman from Elk Grove, California, who actually made his collegiate debut in the top of the 9th inning and retired all 3 batters that he faced. It looked pretty good doing it.
Foltz takes in the dirt, so Kettleson has gone full on the Tiger third baseman.
And look, the coaching staff is just searching for any option, any bright spot right now. If you can provide it, you'll certainly get more opportunities.
There's a line shot to the gap in left center, and nobody's going to catch this one. Cut off by Hott. Foltz digging for second. He will slide in unnecessarily, and it's a double to lead off the 7th. Second hit of the day for Foltz. He's fired up. Guy who doesn't play a whole lot.
That's the 4th consecutive inning in which the Clemson leadoff man has reached. And Clemson scored the 3 previous times that happened in this game. Let's see what happens here at number 4.
And Jackson Moore stands in. More 2 for 3. Squares to bunt. And that would be emblematic of college baseball, Troy. You're up by 4 in the late innings, and you're still playing for 1. Moore pops up the bunt. That's going to be an easy play for J.J. Moran. So Clemson hasn't done a whole lot incorrectly this afternoon, but that's one Moore would like back.
Yeah, bunting has not been the Tigers' strong suit at any point this weekend, and they can put that as more evidence, unfortunately, against the Tigers and things to work on going forward. But they've done a lot of things right, especially over the last 3+ innings.
Top of the order, Bryce Clavon. 2 for 4 today, average now at 281. And that is not a sacrifice, that is a bunt for a base hit attempt, but he came up empty.
Yeah, David Weiser looked good top of the 9th on Friday night in a game that was out of hand for Stanford by that point, but providing some data points for the coaching staff going forward. So maybe he might get some more looks.
Clavon fouls it away. I hit a home run earlier. I think he'd want to keep swinging.
Yeah. As he bounces that one off the hospitality tent beyond the right field grassy knoll. I think a lot of the Stanford football team was over there in the earlier portion of this game.
Oh, 2 from Kettleson is very high and outside.
Wind has really picked up now.
Yeah.
Kind of swirling a little bit. Was moving out to straightaway center about 10 seconds ago. Now kind of swirling towards left to right. But the breeze has certainly picked up in a big way.
Definitely blowing out more than it is in.
Yep.
We've already seen 5 home runs in this game. One of them by the man who just swung and missed and strikes out.
Yeah, I think Clavon was trying to make it number 6 on the afternoon. Kettleson gets his second strikeout of the day. A nice little swing through by Clavon.
And that'll bring up Jay Dillard, who entered the game for Tristan McClatty after McClatty was hit by a pitch in the head and neck area in the previous inning. Dillard, 250 on the season, 1 home run, 8 RBI. And he looks at a pitch just off the inside corner, so 2-0 to the Tigers' second baseman. Breaking ball, strike 1. Kettleson, a lanky lefty. Highly touted prospect, as we spoke of earlier. No swing.
Kettleson also has a home run. Hit that one against Wake on March the 7th.
And he will disengage.
2 2/3 against Cal State Fullerton, February 21st. Struck out 4 along the way, no decision.
3-1 pitch, popped up. Beyond the infield, and it'll be the center fielder, Ethan Hott, making the play. Nice inning for Kettleson, and the Tigers don't put up a run for the first time since the 3rd inning. They still lead 9-5. Stretch time here at Sunken Diamond. Sunday baseball at Sunken Diamond on the Stanford campus. A couple of offenses that capable of lighting up the scoreboard, and Clemson has done more of that than Stanford. 9 runs all in the middle innings for the Tigers. They lead 9-5. Stanford will send J.J. Moran, Eric John, and Court McDonald to the plate against the right-hander Dylan Harrelson, who's been terrific since coming on a couple of innings ago. Harrison's first pitch is upstairs, ball 1.
Moran 0 for 3. Gian with a solo home run. Court McDonald with an RBI double.
Swing and a miss. JJ coming up empty so far today. Grounded out to the pitcher. Strikeout, strikeout.
Go back to March the 1st. JJ had a terrific day, 4 for 5 against the Fresno State Bulldogs. Came a home run shy of hitting for the cycle that day.
Two 2-1, waved at and missed. Evens up the count.
Yeah, crossed him up a bit there on the inside fastball.
Tigers will stick around town, play at Santa Clara tomorrow before returning home for a weekend series with North Carolina.
Yeah, and the road ahead for Clemson, beyond that, is not a very easy one, especially in conference play.
Next 2 conference series at Virginia, at Louisville. Moran got a piece of that.
And even beyond that, BC, which has played well, comes down to Clemson in early May. Then you got to deal with Florida State before finishing up ACC play with 3 against Virginia Tech up in Blacksburg.
Not a lot of easy ones in the conference.
Nope.
Payoff pitch to Moran. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Third time Moran has struck out this afternoon. And Harrison just challenging him there a bit and able to get the strikeout.
Second strikeout for the big right-hander. And here is Eric John, responsible for 1 of Stanford's 5 runs today. Had the solo home run back in the 4th. Also grounded out and flied out. That average now up to 350 on the season. Harrison, right now, the pitcher of record for the Tigers. The score holds up. There's a shot to center field. On comes Clavon. He goes into a mini slide and makes the play.
Clavon making the grab, sliding down to his knees. Had a bit of trouble on Friday as he dropped the ball right at the warning track on Friday night for an error, but here he comes in, has a read on it the whole way. Lost his hat, caught the ball.
Court McDonald will hit with 2 outs and the base is empty. Had an RBI double in his 4th inning at bat. Excuse me, in his 5th inning at bat. Hit by a pitch in the 4th. Squares to bunt, pulls it back, and takes a strike.
Court's other older brother, Caden, played at Princeton. So, Ivy League baseball connection there. Of course, we just saw Eric Gian, the transfer from Columbia.
Harrison fastball around 90-91, but looks harder. Big kid coming straight down at you.
6'5", 215, staring right back at you.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And McDonald flies one down the right field line. Crichton over into the shadows and makes the catch. Side retired. So Dylan Harrison continues to put the kibosh on the Stanford bats. And Clemson continues to lead. It is 9-5 through 7 complete here at Stanford. (9-5) Clemson leading Stanford, top of the 8th inning. And to take us the rest of the way is my man Troy Clardy.
All right, thank you, Scott. 9 runs, 13 hits, no errors for the Tigers. 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Cardinal, who were just retired 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 7th for the first time today. Jack Crichton, he's been busy with a solo home run and an RBI single to his credit so far today, facing off against Brock Kettleson. If this result holds, Clemson will take the series. And each of these 2 teams will be tied in the ACC standings at 4-8 and in 14th place. 2 balls, no strikes. It's fastball touch high, 3-0.
We have seen some leadoff walks today, and we have seen some leadoff walks turn into runs today.
And every time Clemson has had their leadoff man get aboard, he has come around to score, except for in the 7th inning, after the leadoff double by Jason Fultz Jr. left him stranded there. Three and 1 to Crichton. Smacked back up the middle, base hit.
Now Crichton's big day continues. 103 off the bat. 3rd hit of the ball game.
Crichton has had an intriguing weekend, both at the plate, as that is his 4th base hit of the weekend, and also in the field too. He was the starter at first base on Friday, started at left field yesterday, and was the right fielder starter here today. Luke Gaffney at the plate. Off the fists and steers that one towards the batting cage pavilion beyond the left field. Head off towards the new Stanford softball stadium, which is a fantastic facility.
Indeed.
Absolutely gorgeous. Great to see that facility come to fruition. Curveball skied straight up. Sasaki makes the call and the catch. 1 away.
Somebody need to remind Kettleson that you're not playing the field right. You're not playing right field. Pitcher, get out of the way.
Sasaki's had an impressive weekend defensively. He's had to make numerous plays, picks, stabs, reaches, corkscrew catches. and decisively finishing off that sequence. Nate Savoy has driven in a couple, also has 2 hits today. Yeah, Stanford Softball Stadium, beyond left field here at Sunken Diamond. Of course, Stanford Softball, while the new facility was being constructed, had to call the football stadium its home last year. And really, the football stadium worked better as a softball venue than by any right it should have. 2-0. They were just able to tuck in the right field foul pole. Just able to get it to fit just beyond minimum specifications. And it actually worked out pretty well. Of course, a record 13,207 came to watch Stanford softball versus Cal in April of last year. That was a Division I softball attendance record. The 3-0. Now 3-1.
Taking all the way, Savoy.
Of course, Clemson, a very good softball program in its own right. The 3-1. Slashed foul. Count 3-2. Busy week here on the farm. Softball finished up its series yesterday. They played a doubleheader. We had beach volleyball. They're ranked #1 once again. Huge track meet Friday and yesterday. That made parking around here a bit interesting.
Yeah, it was Stanford Sports Palooza yesterday, no doubt.
And official Cardinal Palooza on April 18th. Down the right field line, fair ball, and into the corner. Crichton being given the green light. He comes around and scores. Tigers put 10 on the board and are doubling up the Cardinal here in the 8th.
Savoy just slicing it down the right field line, and he couldn't have placed it much better. About a foot inside the foul line. Another extra base hit as Clemson now 10 runs, 15 hits on the afternoon.
And Nate Savoy says, all right, let's keep it going. Savoy's 3rd hit of the day. Jacob Jarrell looking for his 2nd as he singled in the 5th. First pitch high for ball 1. Sails clear to the backstop. And Savoy takes 90.
That one just got away from Kettleson. Now we do have action in the Stanford pen.
7 pitchers already for Stanford today. Yeah, busy times here on the farm, sports-wise. I mean, you think spring, you think things kind of tend to slack off a little bit. No, not the case. Not around these parts. That's a terrific piece of hitting by Jacob Jarrell. Just beating the shift, putting it into right center field, and in with the sliding RBI double. The beat goes on for the Tigers. It's 11-5.
Yeah, it does, and Jarrell noticed as he was rounding first that no Cardinal was covering second, so it made a decision that might have given him pause really quite easy to keep on running. So back-to-back doubles, and the Tigers have blown this thing open.
At one point after 3 innings, it was 2-0 Stanford. But then Clemson started to get in gear. Stanford was able to answer. Cardinal led 5-4 after the 5th inning. Lichtenberger laces that one down the third baseline. And Clemson will add on one more. 3 straight doubles for the Tigers.
And Lichtenberger was the only Clemson starter without a hit today. Now everybody's joined in the fun.
And Thomas Eager doesn't even wait for everyone to get back to their respective positions to come out of the dugout.
Pretty clear at this point. Kettleson ran out of gas. And we will have the 8th Stanford pitcher of the game.
We will. His name is Quentin Marsh, freshman from San Jose. As Brock Kettleson comes off, Marsh comes in. We'll tell you more about Quentin in just a moment. 12-5, Clemson with 3 across so far in the top half of the 8th on ACC Network Extra. You're looking at the 8th different pitcher that Stanford has used today. It's Quentin Marsh, a freshman from San Jose, 6'2" left-hander. And yes, he is Tatum Marsh's younger brother. Quentin Marsh, so far on the season, about to make his 7th appearance of the year. No record and a 7.27 ERA. Still an 8 2/3, 8 runs, 7 of them earned. 10 strikeouts versus 6 walks.
What's crazy is not only has Stanford used 8 pitchers, they've used 8 pitchers since the 4th inning.
That's right.
We're in the 8th inning.
And Clemson has put 3 across so far. Jason Foltz Jr. fouls off the first pitch that he sees from Quentin Marsh. Foltz an RBI single in the 4th. Leadoff double in the 7th, but did not come around to score in that instance. And now Marsh finally steps off. He threw 2 innings against Virginia Tech in the Friday game last week. 4 hits, 2 runs both earned, a couple of walks, and a couple of strikeouts.
We got a pitch comm issue.
Yep. Got to make sure that all the equipment is ready and good to go.
Maybe that's been the problem the last 4 innings.
Well, amazing how the sport has evolved. Look, baseball's the national pastime. There are obviously a lot of traditions and all those sorts of things, but technology being absorbed into the sport. Of course, ABS, the big story on the major league level. 0-1, big cut, swing and a miss, nothing in 2.
Your opinion of ABS?
As long as it gets it right, I'm fine with it. No balls, 2 strikes. And as long as it's enforced correctly, right? I mean, you know, folks challenging all the time and all those sorts of things. You know, what does that really do for the health of the sport? But just get it right. A 1-2. Big swing and a miss, strike 3.
It's a good entrance for Quentin Marsh. It'll be interesting to see how that evolves. Maybe they add more challenges. It's not slowing the game down, which is nice.
Right. Jackson Moore with a couple of singles today. First pitch to him is low and outside. Off speed, high strike called, 1-1. You have communication with the pitcher, you have the pitch clocks. All sorts of different things that were not in the game. Slow roller off the mound, takes a hard hop and eats up Bates. So everybody is safe, first and third with 2 out.
That'll be the second error on the Cardinal.
And Bates may have taken that one very hard off of his wrist. He is still kind of...
That was uncomfortable.
Yeah, still trying to shake it off a little bit as he was hunched over until just a couple seconds ago, and now has finally put his mitt back on. Back to the top of the order, it's Bryce Clavon. Fly ball to right. Reynolds backing up into the shadows, and he makes the catch just shy of the track for the 3rd out. Clemson getting more and more distance and further away from the Cardinal. Tigers taking a 12-5 lead to the bottom of the 8th on ACC Network Extra. Bottom of the 8th begins with the 7, 8, 9 batters due up for the Cardinal. The line score on your screen as Clemson spotted Stanford a couple of runs and then eventually overtook the Cardinal in the 6th inning. And they have been ahead to stay since then. Brady Reynolds hit by a pitch in the 2nd, singled in the 4th, and walked in the 5th. Looks the first pitch strike here from Dylan Harrison. And Harrison wears that one off the shoulder.
So Reynolds plunked for the 2nd time.
Well, and if you're Stanford, you need base runners. Don't necessarily care how they happen.
It's like 6 hit by pitch in this game.
Now brings up Luke Lavin. Yeah,
but first, a slow walk to the mound
by Eric Bakic. A homecoming for him. Pride and joy of San Jose. Bellarmine Prep, class of 1996. Played his first 2 years on the collegiate level at San Jose City College. So he's back at home, the 408 area code, just a few miles southeast of where we are right now.
Harrison can give you length. He's had 3 outings this year of 4 innings or more. Another 2 of 3 innings.
Yeah, this hasn't exactly been a pitching masterpiece by any stretch of the imagination. We've had 5, looks like 5 hit batters so far in this game. We've had 8 pitchers used by Stanford, and now a 4th coming in for Clemson. That information straight ahead, 12-5. Clemson with the lead, but Stanford with 1 on in the bottom of the 8th. Danny Nelson's on in relief for Clemson, the 4th different pitcher for the Tigers so far today. Nelson, a freshman, 6'1", 185 out of Hershey, Pennsylvania. And Nelson about to make his 10th appearance of the year. Does have 2 saves, a 1-2 record and a 5.54 ERA. 13 innings pitched, 21 strikeouts versus 4 walks, with opposing batters hitting .278 against Nelson. We will not have Luke Lavin coming up to the plate. Instead, we will have Brock Sell, who is pinch hitting in Lavin's spot. We're in the 8th spot in the Stanford order, as Sell slashes that one to third, throw to second for 1, throw to first, not in time. So Sell, the freshman from Stockton, is able to reach, but there's now 1 gone here in the bottom of the 8th.
Went up there hacking. First pitch, squibbed it opposite way right at the third baseman. So for Clemson, it was Titsworth for 3 innings, Brendan Bennett for an inning and 2/3, Dylan Harrison 2 1/3, and now Danny Nelson.
And the second batter that Nelson will face is Ethan Hott. And unfortunately for Stanford on the pitching side, a movie that the Cardinal have seen far too often here today. They've given up 17 base hits. Only walked 2 batters. That's relatively good news, but issued 1 wild pitch, and they've hit 2 more. So it hasn't exactly been the walks that have been the problem. It's just Clemson's just making great contact and doing a terrific job at the plate. Took him a couple innings, but they've gotten there.
Yeah, Clemson didn't score for the first 3, and then they put 12 on the board in the next 5.
Hott ahead in the count 3-0. And he takes first base on the 4-pitch walk.
So Hott is aboard for the first time this afternoon. That turns the lineup over. And here's the thing, Troy. It's 12-5 in the 8th. You think we're playing out the string. This is college baseball. And Rintaro Sasaki certainly with one swing.
Sure.
All of a sudden you look up and it's 12-8.
Sure. Sasaki has been relatively quiet so far here today with a couple of pop-outs. He did double and score in the 3rd.
The double was not quiet.
No. Exit velocity of 109 miles per hour. Big cut, nothing in 2.
I think he might be thinking along the lines as I was just describing.
Yeah, and I'm sure David Esker has mixed feelings about that, as we hinted at earlier in the show. Sasaki with the late sac fly RBI yesterday, and that made Eske pretty happy. Because sometimes he pushes so hard he's not productive. And here he goes down swinging. Just tries and tries and places so much pressure on himself that sometimes he psychs himself out of productivity.
Well, and let's be clear, there was plenty of pressure on him the day he stepped on campus.
100%.
Well, we get to see Teddy Tokheim hit one more time.
Teddy, yup. 2 for 3 so far today. Big swing and a miss there, nothing in 1. Tokheim, a solo shot in the 1st inning. Was intentionally walked in the 3rd and singled in the 6th. Tokheim on a 12-game hit streak, batting .520 as of right now during that span. He's down here, nothing in 2.
OPS for the season, 1372.
That's a stupefying
video game.
Cheat code. Teddy Tokheim, the 0-2. Looks at strike 3. And the side is retired. So Danny Nelson comes in and quiets things down, striking out 2 very tough bats. Sasaki and then Tokheim, and allowing Clemson to take a 12-5 lead into the 9th inning. We begin the 9th inning. Clemson with a 7-run lead over the Cardinal. Troy Clarity and Scott Reese here on ACC Network Extra. A big thank you to those of you who are with us here. on this afternoon here in the Bay Area, especially if you've stuck around with us from the first pitch of this game, which was 3 hours and 32 minutes ago. Jay Dillard at the plate, his first, check that, this will be his second plate appearance of the day as he came on after Tristan McClatty was hit in the face by a pitch in the 6th inning. Rolling to short, the backhand and the throw gets past Sasaki. And Dillard is safe at second.
See if they call that a single and an error.
I believe I heard they've called it just a straight error.
Straight E6?
Straight E6, I believe.
Okay, well, that regardless is the second error in as many innings by Charlie Bates.
As we give you another look here, and Sasaki didn't really have a chance at that one.
Yep. I just thought maybe he would have beaten it anyway.
Nolan Stoll, by the way, has replaced Luke Lavin at catcher. Lavin was pinch hit for in the previous half inning, so Stoll comes in, the freshman from Stevenson Ranch, California. He's coming as a defensive replacement now in all 3 games of this series. Jack Crichton goes opposite field. Brady Reynolds on the run, stops, makes the grab. Dillard speeding to third, and he is meat.
What a throw by Brady Reynolds.
Line drive throw by Brady Reynolds. And this is well worth another look. Just an absolute laser on the money and on time.
Nice job by J.J. Moran to withstand the contact at third base.
So now there are 2 out here in the top of the 9th for Luke Gaffney with an RBI single in the 6th. I'm always a big fan of a good outfield assist.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that was textbook. Caught it on the move. Momentum coming forward.
Foul into the 3rd row. With Stoll giving his all.
Hard to be on the Stanford campus and see the name Gaffney and not think of a pretty good running back a few years back.
Yep. Tyler Gaffney, part of Stanford football's tremendous run in the early 2010s. Big run in the Pac-12 championship game to start things off against Arizona State and help lead the Cardinal to a Rose Bowl. One of 3 that they played in the last decade. As I point out that Cal still has not been to a Rose Bowl since there were 48 states in the Union. Lined right to Gian. And the side is retired. Comes down to this for the Cardinal. The bottom of the 9th with the 3, 4, 5 batters due up. But a big hole to try to climb out of as Clemson's ahead by 7. Bottom of the ninth inning, about to unfold as Clemson 3 outs away from taking a series here from the Stanford Cardinal. Charlie Bates stepping up to the plate, 0 for 3 today, walked and scored in the 5th. That run scored came off of Court McDonald's RBI double that at that point gave the Cardinal a 5-4 lead. Stanford has not scored since. Clemson has scored 8 times since then. Appeal to third base umpire Darren Hyman, and Charlie Bates is down 0-2. Danny Nelson on the hill for the Tigers. Back-to-back strikeouts coming into this frame. Low and inside, 1-2.
Barring a miraculous ninth inning comeback, Stanford will fall back under 500. Cardinals been scratching and clawing, trying to get back on the plus side of the ledger for a bunch of weeks now. They had evened that mark heading into today's ball game, but alas, has not gone their way.
Yeah, it's been somewhat of a tough stretch for Stanford baseball since they made their 3rd consecutive trip to Omaha in 2023. They have not been to the NCAA since then.
That coinciding with a couple of things. The move to the ACC primarily, but also the proliferation of NIL, and that has certainly affected the Cardinal roster adversely over the last couple of seasons. Think of Braden Montgomery for starters, the first big-ticket guy to chase the big bucks and transfer out, and now a top prospect of the Chicago White Sox.
Back-to-back-to-back strikeouts now. And Philip Chiang will come in to pinch hit in J.J. Moran's spot. Chiang, a freshman from Canada, Richmond Hill, Ontario. How about that? Chiang 1 for 9 on the season so far, appearing in his 14th game. And Stanford's going to have a lot of work to do to try to prevent this from happening, but the Cardinal in danger of missing the NCAAs for a 3rd consecutive season for the first time since 1980.
Before the legendary Mark Marquis made his mark, indelible mark on this program.
Gorgeous curve, called strike 3. That was a fantastic pitch by Danny Nelson.
Tell you what, this Clemson bullpen is living up to the billing. They've been fantastic in this game.
3 relief pitchers for Clemson, and only one of them so far has been charged with a run. That was Brandon Bennett. Going back to Friday, Hayden Simerson came on, and he just challenged Stanford. It was impressive to watch as he held it down on Friday in the bullpen for Clemson. It's up to Eric Gian to try to extend the game for the Cardinal. Gian with a solo home run to lead off the 4th inning. The 1-0. Big cut, swing and a miss, 1-1. One ball and 1 strike. And that stays fair.
How
and
many
Gian
of those?
is safe.
That's crazy. That is the 4th or 5th swinging bunt in this game. The last 2 have stayed fair. The first 3 went foul.
Just a little number, and this one actually had the decency to roll onto the grass.
Hey, when you've got 1 hit all year, you'll take that.
Right? So Gion's aboard. Court McDonald making sure that Jacob Jarrell has all of his equipment ready and good to go. That's just good sportsmanship there. Yeah, Stanford is a program, of course, has long been a mainstay in the postseason. Nothing like Sunken Diamond during regionals and super regionals time. 3 straight trips to the College World Series, 2021, 22, and 23. Numerous trips in the 2000s, national champions in 87 and 88. But hitting a bit of a rough patch here of late. No balls and 1 strike to Court McDonald. Runner going. And this one's lashed into right field for a base hit. Gian still going. And the Cardinal have runners at the corners with 2 out.
Perfectly executed hit and run. Somewhat of an oddity to see a base runner take off down by 7 in the 9th inning. But it worked. And Brady Reynolds will get a chance to get his hacks. Reynolds had that tremendous throw from right field in the top of the 9th.
Yep, sure did. A Joe Borchard-like throw. Reach back into the Stanford vault there a little bit. Fantastic outfielder for Stanford, late 90s, early 2000s. Also played quarterback for Stanford football, part of the Cards' 1999 Rose Bowl team. Took some pretty important snaps there.
An impressive list of 2-sport athletes to come through here.
There have been a few. John Elway immediately comes to mind.
Chad Hutchinson.
Runner going, but takes second uncontested as Reynolds looks at strike 1.
And, of course, John Lynch was an outfielder here
Yep.
at Stanford before he decided to concentrate on football full-time, which seems like it worked out pretty well for him.
He did okay on the gridiron. Card down to their last strike. Second and third. Clemson trying to close out the Cardinal. The pitch from Nelson. Swing and a miss, and that's your ball game. The Clemson Tigers staggered early, regrouped in the middle, and then outrun Stanford down the stretch to claim the series. The final score here this afternoon, Clemson 12, Stanford 5.
Yeah, it's really an impressive performance by the Tigers offensively. Once they got the bats going, as you say, in those middle innings, it was just a seemingly never-ending hit parade for the guys in orange. Up and down the lineup, they did it with power. They did it taking extra bases. They played fundamentally sound defense, and obviously the pitching was tremendous.
A seemingly never-ending hit parade for Clemson and a seemingly never-ending parade for Thomas Eager, the Stanford pitching coach, up and out of the Cardinal dugout and heading out to the mound for the second game in this 3-game series. Stanford needed 8 different pitchers to get through this one. But Clemson getting the job done, especially damaging 5-run 6th inning, the major difference in this game. Tigers now 21 and 12 on the year. Stanford falls to 14 and 15. Both teams now 4 and 8 in ACC play and tied for 14th on the league table. Stanford gets back in action later on this week as Clemson plays tomorrow. They stick around in the Bay Area, and they will face Santa Clara tomorrow. That'll be a 9 p.m. Eastern time start. Meanwhile, Stanford back at it at Louisville for 3 more in ACC play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That'll do it for us here from Sunken Diamond. A special thanks, a major thank you to our crew, especially the folks out there dealing with the hot sun all afternoon long. We certainly appreciate you hanging in there with us, and we appreciate you being here with us as well as Clemson gets the 12-5 win over Stanford. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane, and accomplish greatness. Clemson takes 2 of 3 from the Card. 12-5 the final on this Sunday.